Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Foxtel. 4K Ultra HD. The best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
Round 19 continues. Here we are at Marvel Stadium for your daily double. We started with Carlton versus the mighty Giants this afternoon. The Blues 7th on the table. A game and a half clear of top 4 and a game and a half clear inside the 8 at the moment. And for the Giants, it's been a tough season. 5 wins for the year so far, 15th on the table. And a big afternoon of football, and that is why there is an enormous team that has been assembled here on Triple M footy. Probably the most impressive I've ever seen in 14 years, and that's a big statement. But this man, as I kick it off straight away, you'll probably understand why. 250, a premiership at the Pies and All-Australian, of course 100 for the Blues as well. Daisy Thomas, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Baz. Great to be here alongside you. Lid closed, the Blues looking to respond. Very poor last week. I went along just as a fan, sat in the outer and enjoyed what Geelong were able to do to them. Really absolutely dismantled them. So the Blues need to respond. And I think whoever doesn't get Sam Taylor today is going to have a big day. So I'll be looking to see if he goes to Curnow or Mackay. But I think the other one gets well and truly off the leash today. And I'm declaring for one of them a big bag.
There he is. What a great. And it doesn't stop there, because this man, wherever he goes, he gets the best and fairest. Of course, former Demon, former Adelaide Crow, went to the milk bar during the week. He asked for just a litre of milk and they handed him a best and fairest. Bernie Vince. G'day, Bern.
Yes, and I had to hand that back because they charged me too much, Baz. I had to give it back. But no, interesting. Who do you think Taylor goes to today? Because surely those two boys up forward are going, well, who's he go? Is he coming to me? Is he going to you? And as you said, I reckon whoever he doesn't goes to, have a fill up today. And I reckon they both do anyway. I think this is right for the picking here. Carlton, obviously disappointing last week against Geelong, who are in some ripping nick at the moment. But the Giants just going, to be honest. Brisbane took care of them last week, and I just think that if Carlton are serious about playing, not just playing in the finals this year, but actually doing some damage, they just take care of the Giants today.
And as far as calling the action is concerned, well, I think you'd agree with me, Dave. So just turn off your mind, relax and float downstream, because this man will take you to places you've never been before.
I'm floating downstream.
He started in Sydney last night, but he's back here in Melbourne, which is fantastic. Jack Heverin, good afternoon.
They are 3 of the best intros that you will ever get in your life. You are an absolute bloody king, Barry Denner.
For a non-sort of preparer.
So hang on, so Jack, you were floating downstream. I was like trying to picture myself what's going on there, but Baz, how did you come up with this stuff?
I don't know.
Picture, Bern, just picture my pasty white body floating downstream. Wouldn't that be a real treat?
Just in the dick bathers, or what are we running with?
Yeah, some smugglers. Why not? Yeah. Gone into Chief's Solarium from the other day.
Oh, no. We can't mention that. He's texted us all and said, no, don't go there again. So that wasn't me. That was you.
No, that was you.
I'm going to see him tonight.
You told me to say that.
No, I didn't.
Was it me? It was you.
No, Baz, you told me to do that.
Yes, Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber, of course, to install the Ream. This is the Triple M footy preview for TaylorMade Golf, the all-new stealth driver from TaylorMade with a 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness. So that's Bernie Vince is here with Daisy Thomas, Jack Heverin calling the action this afternoon on the Red Z Lendings. The great man Ethan Meldrum returns. G'day, Heath.
G'day, Baz. I'm on contested ball watch for both teams today. Carlton, number 1 in the comp for contested ball differential. Scores from stoppages differential as well. They went plus 34 against the Giants back in round 9. Sam Walsh that day, 30 disposals, 2 goals, 10 coaches' votes. Second in the comp for loose ball gets, disposals, uncontested ball. He's having a big year. Conversely for the Giants, since Mark McVeigh took over, 18th for clearance differential, conceded the 3rd most points from stoppages in the competition. Only North Melbourne and West Coast were, so not good for them. They are second for goals inside 50 in that time, though, so have been efficient going forward. Harry Himmelberg, watching him today, since he moved down back under Mark McVeigh, 25 disposals per game, over 600 metres gained. That's number 2 in the competition, I should say. And Stephen Cornelio under Mark McVeigh as well, 81% midfield, was 26% before then. Top 5 in the league for disposals and score involvements in that time.
Oh, that's quality. Just, straight off the top.
Yeah,
that is superb. Well done, Heath, as always. That is a brilliant start for the Red Z Landings. But, of course, all the action happens at ground level, Jack.
It does.
Not up here. And you've got to have quality at ground level. And we've certainly got that this afternoon for Bob Jane Team Arts. Bob Jane Team Arts, of course, buy 3, get 1 free and instant cash back on Bridgestone, Goodyear, Yokohama, Michelin, Dunlop and many more. BobJane.com.au. Abby Holmes joins us. What a superstar, AFLW Premiership player. And, of course, Abby, you'll be looking after us with the Commonwealth Games for the next couple of weeks. Great to have your company this
Oh,
afternoon.
Baz, you're lucky with that introduction. If it wasn't going to be to the level of the boys, I was going to absolutely give it to you then. But yes, this will be my last game of footy for a couple of weeks. The Commonwealth Games kick off in Birmingham. So let's make it a cracker, shall we? I'm looking forward to this one from ground level. The medical subs locked in for both sides. We've got Jack Nunes for the Blues, and for the Giants, it is Jake Steen. So pumped for this one, and I'm really excited to see Mitch McGovern back into this Blues side. His first taste of AFL footy since round 2, so I'll be keeping a very close eye on him, and hopefully he can get through unscathed.
Hey, Abs, just a quick one. I know that you're buried deep in your research at the moment for Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
Have you got a little nugget that you can share with us and the Triple M family?
Here we go.
Oh, no, I'm just going to hit you with probably the best, I guess, record to date with their Kookaburras. They have every single gold medal that has ever been awarded in hockey since its inception in 1998 in Kuala Lumpur. So our Kookaburras hockey side, the absolute dominant force of the hockey at the Com Games, and I expect them to make it 7 throughout the next couple of weeks.
That's good for me.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Just
That's a tick.
That's
a
the
big
sort
tick.
of stuff you're going to get on
No
7.
notice.
No.
With Abby over the next couple of weeks will dominate that platform. Here this afternoon, dominating the platform, of course, Daisy Thomas and Bernie Vince. Your expectations this afternoon? I called the game last week. It was you, Days, with the Blues and the Cats, and the Blues right up there up till half-time, but the Cats sort of just jumped on top. How do you see them at the moment as we head into this one?
Yeah, well, that was their biggest test they faced for a fair few weeks last week, and they didn't pass it by, or didn't even come close, really. Geelong were able to stymie that ball movement that's been so good for them, and they tried to set up. They set up to go around them. They set up to go through them, but the pressure from the Cats was so good that they just forced them long down the line. They had no answers. The thing that was concerning for me was they weren't able to adapt in game. So obviously the GWS, no surprise this afternoon. If they're going to be any chance in this one, they have to bring the heat and bring it all game long. I think the Blues will be back to their best, though, and I think that ball movement we'll see on display, that ability to go through the corridor, get some really good overlap and speed in that ball movement, and then get it out to the big boys in Curnow and Mackay, which they weren't able to do last week. And that's something that the Giants haven't been great at stopping. They've been bold and more bold with their ball movement since Spike McVeigh has taken over. But in doing so, without the skill set that they probably have in the top sides, they do turn the ball over and get scored against pretty heavily. So scoring an issue for the GWS Giants. I'll also be on Toby Green watch as well. He's obviously a superstar of the competition. I think Nick Newman will get first crack at him. They've gone with that matchup before, so Toby has a fair few more tricks in his kit bag than Nick Newman has, old Desert Head, and it'll be interesting to see what he produces.
I was waiting for the nickname. If I'm Toby Green, I'm loving that matchup. I think Newman sort of goes after the footy, he likes the ball in his hand. If I'm Toby Green and Nick Newman comes to me, I'm thinking maybe I could kick 3 or 4 today. But the matchup that I'm looking forward to today is Sam Taylor. I just want to see who he goes to, because I think he probably goes to Mackay early, but and as I said just before, I think if Carlton are if they're serious about going anywhere in this competition over the next few weeks, they just get this done today. Paddy Cripps going into the middle now to toss the coin. I just think they're too good a side to let themselves down with a game like this. And it's actually getting pretty tight too. They're sitting in 7th position at the moment on 44 points, 11 wins. But then they got the Dogs right up and with a great win last night. Richmond go out of the 8 now after their draw and a couple of poor losses. So teams that are in the 8 now, they just can't afford any hiccups. And this is a game where Carlton just have to put the Giants away.
Well, Bert, if you look at the ladder, it's really the difference between them still being in the hunt for maybe a top 4 spot or just hanging on to a position in the top 8.
They could actually drop out of the 8 with a lot. I know they don't go officially out of the 8 tonight, but if they drop a game like this, it puts so much pressure on the next few weeks to win. And, Carlton haven't been in the finals for a long period of time, and this is just a game they have to win. And I reckon, just walking in here, the Carlton supporters, and I only spoke to a couple on the way in, I reckon they're a little bit nervous about today, the Carlton supporters. There's just this little element, they're going, surely, Bernie, surely. I was like, they can't get this done today, but a little bit of nervous energy, I reckon, around the supporters.
Well, they've got some match winners, the Giants. That said, are you tipping the Blues?
I'm tipping the Blues. I think they just get it done today.
SKG Radiology, of course, player matchups. Byrne, you've been studying, you've had a look. SKG Radiology, now bulk billing on all Medicare rebatable services. Who are you keeping an eye on this afternoon?
Sammy Taylor for me, and I'm just looking at Harry Mackay going forward and seeing who he matches up on. I think he's going to take Mackay. So I'm going to look at that one. I reckon Charlie Curnow will be licking his lips now.
So for the Giants, they've won one of their last 5 games. For the Blues, their form line's been impossible to track in their last 8 games. Win-loss, 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 win-loss.
Sam Taylor to Charlie Curnow. They've flicked.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, Sunday afternoon under the roof at Marvel Stadium. De Koning in the ruck first up, took it out of there and was slung straight to the ground by Braden Pruce. Back into the team for his first game from an ankle injury, been out for the best part of a month. Cripps off the side of the stoppage, now Walsh tackle. He's got nowhere to go. We'll do it all again, still inside the centre square.
Newman has gone to green, and at the other end, that means Keith has got the big task on Harry Mackay.
So big numbers around the ball up. Just pushed it a little bit forward for the Giants. Canelio grabbed it, tackled, lost the footy to ground level. O'Halloran, little toe poke, little rush ball, only went about 5 metres. Chera picked it up, little hand pass off. Kennedy kicks out here towards the wing, and Motlop sees the ball bounce away from him and out of bounds. True win position, broadcast side of the ground.
Looks like Cal Ward has gone to Sard already, getting right into him, having a few afters already off the ball. Defensive half-forward role for Cal Ward. We know how damaging Sard can be with that run and gun off half-back.
That's different for Cal Ward. We haven't seen him do that before. Thrown in. Hopper came crashing through. And O'Halloran.
Jeez, he's into him.
He is giving him everything.
Just absolutely giving it to Adam Sard. Loves the free flow of the game. Handball received, so we'll watch that one closely.
Free kick going the Giants' way to Bruce. Medallion Club wing. The big man loads up, kicks to a one-on-one inside their attacking area. Good fist comes late. Out of bounds from Honey. Just having a look at the Harvey Norman replay here at that free kick. Looked more like Bruce was doing the holding on the Koenig.
Bizarre.
Harvey Norman, of course, great deals on cooking appliances on now at Harvey Norman. Shop the world's best cooking brands in-store or online. Boundary throw-in. Sort of fell short and allowed Toby Green in to track it back to the boundary line. Kennedy sharks it quick for the Blues and throws it onto the boot. A 45-metre kick that lands into the arms of Keith, who marked on the true wing position for the Giants just inside the boundary line. Squares it up inboard, I should say, to Himmelberg, who marks and goes very short to Taranto.
There's another umpire with whistle issues days. We had one last night.
Yeah, it's becoming a real trend across the AFL. They need to sort it out, the umpires. One job, and that's to make sure your bloody equipment's working.
Do they blow them pre-game? Do they practice?
Maybe they should. Kennedy long ball, tackling all the big issues on Sunday footy. This is out of bounds. Right forward pocket.
Equivalent of a warm-up for us, them just like 15 blows on each side. It's a pigeon bird.
Was that a pigeon?
Triple M Bus super special comments.
Sounded like a whistle to me.
Daisy Thomas, Bernie Mintz.
Ball heads back to the boundary line. It's in the back pocket for the Blues, and a long kick to Curnow on the outside wing, slapped the ground level. Cumming claimed it for the Giants. Clean hands to Bruce, who kicks them back inside forward 50, the Giants, but there's De Koning, who takes a nice defensive mark and hand passes off to the former Bomber in Sard.
It's the short kick on defensive 50 as Sam Walsh. The team's played earlier this season in round 9. Sam Walsh best on ground by a mile in that win by Carlton. The Giants win the footy back here. Out of side wing, Taranto. Now an inboard kick is okay. Has Haynes at centre half back. 3.5 minutes gone. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. No score as yet. Haynes kicks short to Xavier O'Halloran. Defensive side of the circle. He looks deep. Green attracts a crowd. Ball gets out the back, and there's Wiedering for the Blues.
Yes, nice ball too. Delivery good. 40 metres to Mackay, who marks on the wing for Carlton. Little short one to Jack. Silvani's got it 15-20 metres further on. Still on the boundary line on the wing broadcast side. Delivers a nice 25-30 to Setterfield, who marks. Goes back. Low ball inside, but really beautifully was Himmelberg. Bit of ill-directed kick, and Curnow takes a while to get up off the ground, limps away, but he's all right, Chaz. Himmelberg's got it at half-back for the Giants.
Had 10 intercept marks last week, Harry Himmelberg, in their loss. There's his first one of the afternoon. His kick up the line. No mark paid to Young. Well, Wiedering had it stolen away by Riccardi, and the Giants have got the corridor. Lloyd, inboard kick, pick up excellent for Ward. Off by hand to Canelio. A bounce, crosses 48, vacant goal square, kicks it. The Giants get the first of the afternoon after 4.5 minutes. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard, they're one straight 6. Blues yet to score.
A little bit unlucky there, the Blues. I thought that was almost a mark there just in front of us here by Lewis Young. Sort of almost held it, but just let go of it at the end. But then the Giants, the overlap handball and the kick inside, they're just taking the game on, and as we know they do, but just the kick, that kick inside to Ward, that's what opens up the ground for him. And Cornelio, look at that little take there, one hand, as you see on the Harvey Norman replay, took a bounce. I love that from a leader. Just take the bounce, take it upon yourself to finish. Good start here from the Giants. I tell you, all the game being played in the Giants half at this stage.
Triple M Super special comments this afternoon. 2 superstars in one place. Super making hard work pay off. Daisy Thomas with Bernie Vince. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Bounces good. Big Bruce just waited for it a little bit later on as it slapped it down to Cornelio. Lost it in the tackle. Cripps picks up for Carlton. Put it to Setterfield. He received it from Fisher. Little hand pass to Kennedy. On a lead was Mackay. Went to ground. The umpire said no shove, and behind the pack, Haynes picked it up. Kicks across half-back for the Giants, where he's found Lloyd.
Lloyd looks for Tanner Bruhn. Good mark by the little man. Had some traffic coming and stood tall. Short handball to Riccardi. Now on the bounce to Green, who's 47 out from goal. A long looping handball over the top. Has Peatling. He kicks to the dangerous area. Pack forms about 15 out from goal. Walsh can combine with Setterfield and now Newman, and they should get away.
So the Blues forced to defend significantly.
Yeah, they are.
They?
It's a speed of ball movement, Baz. As soon as the Giants are getting a turnover, they're going quick back at the Blues, trying to get down there in their forward line before the numbers can flood back.
So just chipping it across their last line of defence. Wiedering had it in the back pocket and kicks just outside defensive 50, broadcast side to Fisher, who's marked. Little short kick to Sard. Hits the ground running, takes a bounce, loves it. Loves to run and carry. Left foot ball to Walsh. A little bit too long for him. Coming though, didn't mark. And it allows Honey in behind him to pick it up for the Blues. Kick to full forward over the back. Opportunity for Curnow. Slapped to ground level. Ash swoops on it for the Giants. Little hand pass to Taylor. Goes back by hand to Taranto. Now a short kick to Keefe. And he marks on defensive 50. They do well, the Giants.
7 minutes gone. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Giants a goal. Blues yet to score. Keefe turns that one over. The kick a little hot. Now Newman. Tumbly ball from the centre circle. Curnow arrives on the scene and marks. Man on the mark stands 51 metres out from goal. Distance will not be an issue for this man.
Well,
He's
it's a corridor.
himself in.
Oh, he loves it, Burn. He'll come in, he runs that little arc late, and the penetration on this one won't be an issue. But again, the Giants wanting the corridor, as we spoke about in the pre-game, they almost just go to it regardless. And Lockie Keefe, the man was on, overcooked the kick. Your defence isn't set there. That's why Curnow got some space.
Leads the Coleman medal by 1 after Jeremy Cameron kicked 3 last night. Keeps this one low. It's not going to be all the way there. To Koenig. Couldn't mark in the goal square. Now Setterfield. Flying shot is unbelievable. Tucked away with barely daylight to work with. Will Setterfield. Sensational finish, and the Blues are one straight 6. Giants one straight 6. 8 minutes gone. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Weird kick from Curnow. As we said when he was lining up, definitely had the distance, but then he seemed to, like, I don't know if he pulled it to the top of the square or just mishit that, but he's actually kicked to the top of the square. De Koning nearly takes the mark, and then Setterfield from nowhere snaps from the boundary. And I loved how many Carlton players got around Setterfield then. That meant a lot to the Carlton crew tonight.
Yeah, he's had a big start. We will Setterfield, Red Z lending stats, 5 disposals, most on the ground and a goal. Last 3 games at VFL level, 34, 35 and 40 disposals.
Jeez.
So he's worked his way back into the side.
Red Z lending loans for the self-employed with Ethan Belgium this afternoon for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Don't forget at Macca's, warm up a creme brulee pie or an apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's.
Is that all?
That's what we do. That sort of stuff at Macca's. They never disappoint. Out of the centre, the Blues again go. Little low drop punt this time from O'Brien towards half forward. No mark taken. The ball's in dispute. It's slapped straight up in the air. Taranto's there. Cripps at the bottom of the pack. Tackles Taranto. Brings him to ground. Walsh dives on the footy. The umpire has called for a ball up about 51 metres away from the Blues goal. It's a goal apiece. 9.5 first term. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Packer players around this footy. 55 out from the Blues goal. Taranto Kicks quickly from the stoppage to the outer side wing. 2 on 2, and the Blues get the extra numbers out and win it forward. Plowman slipped over as he kicked. The pick up by Honey is good though. 55 away from goal. Newman by hand to Cripps. Now they're starting to mess around with it. Chera ran out of space. Could have been caught holding the ball. Umpire said no. Now Walsh turns the corner and hoiks it back into the pocket. Brown for the Giants comes across and fists the ball. Well, didn't get it out of bounds in the end. It stays in. And Chera taken to the boundary line, where it'll be tossed in 35 around from goal.
Little time to separate. You can hear the umpires just asking the boys to get on with it. The boundary umpire sets himself to throw it back into play. 45 around, as Jack said, around from the Carlton goal. Mackay. Bruce had a fist on it, slaps to the side, trying to barge through and get through what was a sea of players as Broome spills out to the side. A kick out over the head of the wing to Koenig. Marks, and the umpire has paid it. So chip it inboard, but he's missed the target. Kennedy got in the way, bounced off a couple of bodies. And his teammate in Sproul just holds it up on the outer side wing. And the umpire will ball it up and he says, well done. Good battle, gents.
It certainly was. Really good effort there by Sammy Walsh. Horrible kick coming to him and made a 2v1 for the Giants. They were out, but he was good enough to get a hand in and then hold the ball up.
Daisy Thomas, Bernie Vince, Triple MC Bus Super Special comments. So 1 straight 6 apiece. Best part of 11 minutes gone in the opening quarter. First time to really catch our breath in this one. Bruce. Tap couldn't enable Taranto. Lockie O'Brien wrapped up.
Fisher going up to this stoppage as a small forward, so the Blues having an extra. He'll be blitzing through, trying to go through and cause some havoc.
Again, the ball bounces around. Taranto's hands were good. Now Peatling stops and props. Right half back decides to head wide. Broome in a one-on-one. Yes. No mark taken. Fisher and Chera combine and start to set it up for the Blues from half back.
Yeah, happy to chip it backwards. The ball ends up with Plowman at half back. And a 50. What'd you see?
Just stepped over the marking coming in, Toby Green. He stood the mark straight on and then went laterally 1 step.
Look at the Plowman go. Look at him go. He runs to 50. He goes long. His eyes lit up. Didn't make the distance off hands. Motlop punts it out towards the superstar. The Rolls Royce in Cripps. Hand pass back to Honey off 1 step. Real high ball, and it won't make the distance. It slapped through for an out of bounds and a boundary throw in. Still a goal apiece. 12.5 first term for the Blues and the Giants. Foxtel scoreboard.
Lockie Plowman yet to kick a goal this season. I tell you what, did his eyes light up? He was off. He tucked the ball under his arm.
Oh, yeah.
He was not trying to go the hot spot then. He was going for the big sticks.
Opportunity goes begging. He's not going to get too many looks better than that. Chera to Fisher. Right side for a left footer. And that doesn't score. So we stay at 1-6. 1 straight 6 apiece. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard, 4K Ultra HD. It's the best way to watch AFL, and it's only available at Foxtel.
Seems to be loving his work across half-back, Himmelberg, doesn't he, at the moment?
He loves it. Getting a lot of the footy, intercept marking. We've seen a lot of that, haven't we? Key forwards go back and have a real effect on the play.
Just hands on the footy, getting it regularly and able to run forward. He seems to be loving it.
Obviously reads the ball really well in the air too, so coming across and not having that defender like you do up the other end, right up your backside, trying to work you off it, always getting a clean run and jump at it.
Just saw the replay of that 50, Toby Green. I'm not sure there was much in it.
Toby
just stood the mark on the mark and got paid 50. Poor Toby.
Yep, and couldn't demonstrate any sort of frustration, so had to just let it go.
He's not allowed to do that either.
No, kicked the half forward. Oh, Lloyd shrugged off a tackle for the Giants, and he's kicked it forward to Riccardi, who runs with a flight of a short kick and has marked this about 25 out on a slight angle. Good work from Lloyd.
Yeah, great kick from Lloyd. Could have probably had a running shot on goal, which would have probably been touched by the Carlton defender, but just late, as we see on the Harvey Norman replay, just late, pulled the kick. Knew Riccardi was running back onto it. Beautiful kick. Sets them up here. They're in this fight, the Giants.
Riccardi kicks the goal. Set shot, nice from 25 out. 2 straight goals, the Giants. 1 straight goal, Carlton. 14.5 minutes into the first term on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard, of course. 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL, only available on Foxtel.
Well, just watching it here, Bern, you're right. The Giants have come out there. effort and intensity in and around the footy. We said in the pre-game, if they're going to be in the game, it is going to be on the back of that. Their pressure had to be high, and they have been good. They're stymied a lot of the Carlton forays forward just from good pressure in and around the ball. So the ball's just hung a little bit higher in the air, and then on the back of that, they're getting some really good looks the other way.
Yeah, pressure so far for the Giants. 202 their pressure factor. AFL average 180. Carlton, on the other hand, just 144. 11 tackles to 4 in the Giants' favour as well.
Got an amazing feel for the game, Dave. Brilliant.
That's why he's the best.
It's just nodding.
That's why the invoice is a large one when it's lots at the end of the weekend.
He's just winked and nodded at me.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy.
Bit of a lovely.
Didn't even argue at all, did he? Fisher.
No comment.
Off by hand to Silvani. Tackled as soon as he got it. Good chase from Briggs. As you said, Bern, the Giants are up for the game.
They've turned up here. They're in this fight, no doubt about it. They've come here with a real purpose. Love their contest around the footy. Having a real crack.
Cummings, kick wide was a grubber. Now Peatling gave it to Keefe and got it back. Broadcast wing,
Jeez.
aggressive kick in board.
Aggressive.
It's not going to pay off. Silvani had it, but then his handball charged down. Pack forms inside the centre square. Chera found some daylight and got it to Newman.
So Newman kicks it across to the outer side wing. And the Setterfield marks. He's got Cottrell running for him. Nice delivery. 25 metres. Remember the flight of the footy. Took a nice mark. Goes to Durden on the outer side. Spins the footy in his hand, Durden. He goes for the lead of Mackay in front. 50 out. Keefe got on his back. And the free kick will be to Mackay, but he's only about 8 or 9 metres inside the boundary outer side. And he'll have to kick this about 52, 53 metres.
Yeah, weird that he likes this side better than the other one. Almost the Buddy Franklin rule here for Harry Mackay. But that's the second time we've seen Keefe and Mackay come streaming out of full forward. Keefe got lucky one time before the umpire blindsided from a big arm chop. Not on that occasion. Could have been the arm chop to hold.
That was not a...
Saddled him up and rode him into the deck.
That wasn't a free kick. I've just seen it on the Harvey Norman. That was not a free kick.
Mackay left foot, and not bad off the boot. It's close. It's a point. 1-1-7. It was close, though.
It was close. Good
Very
call,
close. 1-1-7. Carlton. 2 straight goals. The Giants. And that'll be 17 minutes into the first term, Jack, on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Bloody Carlton supporters. They were up and about.
Exactly.
Sounded like it went through.
You'd have to be a bit of a dill to be sucked by that.
Himmelberg. Long kick out of defence. Green and Setterfield. Setterfield did well not to give away a free kick. Now Green tries to handball to his advantage. Setterfield back on the scene. Handballs to Newman, and now Walsh 60 metres out. Left foot kick hurriedly. Mackay camped under that ball, couldn't mark. Himmelberg steps through. The Giants have time to relieve.
Stand.
Hopper uses Brown as the Giants hold it up. Right half back for them. 2 straight 12 for the Blues. 1-1-7. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. An awkward kick up the line. Oh! Toby flies and takes a hanger.
Oh, no.
The kick, not so good though.
That was a classic hanger, wasn't it? Kick partially smothered, but it's bounced inside forward 50 for the Giants, so it's a contest. And both sides go hard at the ball, and the umpire will ball it up.
Oh, have a look at this on the Harvey Norman.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Classic.
double elevation too.
Yeah.
Lewis Young, outstanding by him. Just didn't collapse. That's what you don't want when you're going up on someone. You don't want them to collapse. He stood tall.
Oh, Toby Green out of the pack. He has had a flying shot, and across the face, he's hit the post. That was a classic, wasn't it? There we go. The Harvey Norman again.
Oh, yeah.
Good elevation.
Just got a little bit excited, though. Played on, got smothered.
Yeah, got smothered. Thought I can do everything. What's this?
There you go.
Kick
Smothered.
He was going to talk as well.
I don't know if he was trying to do the talk or he just dropped it wrong.
He just does whatever he wants, doesn't he?
He just takes the piss.
Couldn't give a toss. He'll just do whatever he wants. Kennedy. Nice kick. Has Lockie O'Brien on defensive 50. Back into the team this week. Played a half in the VFL before they pulled him out to be an emergency. His kick finds Mackay. He's starting to have a presence, Harry Mackay.
I'm not 15.
And that's not 15 to Fisher, who turns and was allowed onto his left foot. Short kick to Chera. Now Fisher follows up. He's got to right half forward. Kicks to Curnow. He's got a couple to beat. He wasn't that far away either. Now in the forward pocket. Curnow's going to get it back again. Too far out to score for him. Kennedy dispossessed. Giants get an extra at the contest. O'Halloran got it given to him when he wasn't looking. And Cottrell pounces.
Yeah, it was a beautiful tackle. And the umpire to ball it up again. You can throw a blanket over about 14 here. As Big Mackay goes up against the big fella in Briggs. They slap it to their toes, and the midfielders just smash the footy. The umpire to do it again.
Just lost a little bit of shape here ahead of the footy. The Giants. Carlton have +3 at this ball up behind the footy.
Giants by 5 points, 20 minutes into the first term. Mackay slapped to the side. Shearer was the target. He picked it up. Hand pass to Cripps. He's got space. Forward pocket went for the banana. From 25 out, and he missed by a fair margin to the near post. And Carlton go to 1-2-8. 2 straight goals, 12. Are the Giants 20 and a bit into the first term on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
What are you seeing, Heath? Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Well, another clearance for Carlton, 9-5 they lead, but Harry Himmelberg, #1 ranked player on the ground, 8 disposals, 3 intercepts, most metres gained as well, over 200.
Kick in goes long. Curnow couldn't gather at half forward for Carlton. Ash bends over and picks it up. And Ward had his kick smothered by Kennedy. Out of bounds for a throw in. 70 metres around from goal. Carlton 1-2-8. The Giants 2 straight 12. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. 21 minutes gone in the opening quarter.
Nice, tight quarter of footy. That's what you want to see. The crowd enjoying it. Carlton free kick. As Hopper went to run away. Had a high contact in the ruck contest to DeConey. Hand pass off to the running Sard. Immediately takes the bounce. He's 65 out to Mackay. Whistle goes. Carlton free kick again. This time Mackay's got another one. Being held to the umpire, Harvey Norman. What we think? Jeez.
I tell you what, Cottrell took the advantage, and there's no one screaming, no, blow the whistle again, louder than Harry Mackay. He would have been absolutely filthy. No one in the game hears a whistle, stops and puts their hand up like every free kick's going to be Harry Mackay's.
Well, there were 15 whistles that went, and Cottrell kicked the goal and celebrated with the Carlton fans. I'm not sure.
Mackay for Carlton to hit the front, and he's done it. The Blues 2-2-8. The Giants 2 straight goals, 12, and that's 22 minutes now into the first term on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Well, we said whoever Sam Taylor didn't go to was likely to have a big afternoon. On this occasion, Lockie Keith again, not much in it.
So what was the free kick
for a jumper hold? So it's the initial one there where he sort of has a piece of his hip and his jumper on the left side. Not a whole lot in that. It wasn't the traditional one where your arm goes around them. Interesting decision, but Harry Mackay certainly won't be handing those back. That's a matchup that is looking overly concerning for the GWS Giants so far. Mackay getting involved up the ground, but also having some impact deep as well.
Goal number 37 for the season for last year's Coleman medalist. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. So the Blues get themselves back in front at Marvel Stadium. Chera was almost through from the centre. Now Taranto jams it on the boot. Got to centre half forward. Good contest created by Sproul. They got it front and centre, but Kennedy wrestles it clear for the Blues and tumbles a kick to centre half forward. Silvani had Haynes bearing down. On hands and knees, gave a handball, and now Walsh uses Setterfield. 65 out from goal. Good kick into the pocket. And Mackay marks down low to kick his second in the best part of 90 seconds.
Great finish there from Setterfield, going inside 50. Just had to hit that kick as we see in the Harvey Norman replay. Just had a bit of time and space, Setterfield, but still got to hit the kick. Mackay is starting to get a bit dangerous inside 50, Daisy.
He certainly is, and he set up Keith really well there. That extra handball went back to goal and then just popped up perfectly.
Few steps in from the boundary line. Right forward pocket. It's fading late and is helped through for a behind. The Blues 2-3, the Giants 2 straight. 24 minutes gone. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Abby Holmes for Bob Jane Teammates. They're making a bit of noise out there this afternoon, Abs.
Have a listen to them, aren't they, the Blue Baggers? They're absolutely loving it here, Carlton fans. Their side sitting inside that top 8 and looking for another quality win today. But we've got flags, we've got drums, we've got face paint. It's all going on at ground level.
Giants have worked it to the wing, broadcast side, right in front of Abby Holmes there for Bob Jane Teammates. As Sproul just punches it forward to Broon. Broon back to Sproul. Sproul back to Broon by hand, and a hand pass back to Ward. He skips around Charlie Curnow. Looks to half forward. Oh, Saad read that beautifully. Leaps over the top of Peatling and takes a terrific mark at half back for the Blues. And he goes short inboard to Kennedy. Of course, Abby here today for Bob Jane. Bob Jane Teammates look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free. plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au.
They're wonderful people, Bob Jane team.
Very good.
Wiedering at left half back for the Blues. Daisy, is that Adam Sard tag dropped off in the last few minutes?
Yeah, it looks like the Ward went with it at the start, but then he sort of got up the ground a little bit and they've sacked that. Sard having some real impact off half-back, just going about his business as he pleases.
Brown marks for the Giants, the Irishman on defensive 50. Just works back to Nick Haynes. Giants happy to hold things up a little bit here. They trail by 3 points. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Now Haynes drives a kick to the wing through the fingers of Setterfield. Wiedering assesses, brings it back inboard to Doherty.
Doherty stands on the wing, goes back to that player in Sard, who marks again at half-back. Just a part of a bit of a chipping ring down there as they chip it around. Another one to Walsh. Still at half-back. He'll go across half-back to Young. And he marks for the Blues just outside his defensive 50 broadcast side. Carlton to the right of our broadcast position in this first term. Low drop punt to the leading Curnow was good. He's on the wing. He turns the big man. He wants to go inside quick. Silvani caught behind Haynes. Read that beautifully coming in and marks at half-back for the Giants. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath. Where are we going this afternoon, or another couple of games as well as this one?
Yeah, straight after this, West Coast v St Kilda, Optus Stadium. That big game for St Kilda, obviously needs a win to keep in touch with the top 8. Also, Collingwood versus Essendon.
The Bombers.
The FCG, big game.
Jeez, that is a monster.
Yeah, the Bombers.
Just down the road. O'Brien to Walsh, who's accumulating in this first quarter. That kick, though, shallow to the top of 50. Haynes had a fumble. Silvani got him. Now Keefe was tackled, and they're running out of room, GWS. Motlop to Cripps, who stood up in a tackle. He lost it. Cornelio has to be quick on defensive 50. Now coming in all sorts of trouble. No time, no space in this contest for either team. Taranto lays a strong tackle. O'Halloran taken to the turf by O'Brien. Umpire calls for it. Good, tough, hard footy here at Marvel Stadium in the opening quarter.
Yeah, terrific pressure from both sides on the ball carrier, Bruce. In the ruck, infringes. As you heard from the umpire, exclusively mic'd up for Triple M footy. And DeCarning will take the free kick for the Blues. Left foot sort of loping drop punt to full forward, spills to the back to Big Charlie. And Curnow runs into an open goal and slams it home for the Blues. Carlton 3-3-21. The Giants 2 straight goals, 27.5 first term. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Well, I'm not sure he's going to kick any easier goals than that, Burnt. The ball came in, the free kick in the ruck contest again. They're becoming a bit of an issue, just giving up territory, the Giants, from giving away those free kicks. But everyone just went to the ball. O'Halloran was Charlie Curnow's direct opponent. Actually, Brown it was in the back there, bounced off his shoulder and just straight through to the wicket keeper, Charlie Curnow.
Falcon.
Incredible stuff.
You cannot let that ball go over the back. If you go, you have to make contact with the footy. You've got to bring that to the front of the contest, because all Charlie Curnow wanted them was the ball, exactly what happened. Slip through hands, out the back, easy as you like. So if you decide to go and, Brown came off of Curnow to go at that, you've got to make contact. You've got to get it to the front.
Bernie Vince, Daisy Thomas, Triple M Seabus Super Special comments for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Sunday afternoon footy. Giants win the clearance and Cornelio kicks to a 2-on-2. Wiedering didn't allow that one to get out the back. Now Plowman to McGovern. His first game back. Had to be quick as he went to get rid of it. Green copped a good old-fashioned push in the back. And it's taken to the boundary line. A minute 25 before quarter time. The Blues 3-3-21. Starting to get the game on their terms. The Giants 2 straight 12.
So it'll be flipped back in as the Giants search late in this first term. DeCarning in front of Sproul, push the front of the pack to Peatling. Kicks across the body from the boundary, 45 outside! Big leap running front on into the pack.
Well, that should be 50 metres if it's a free kick to Carlton, which it is.
And the free kick's going to go to Plowman, but the leap was Sard.
Since Toby Green kicked that ball pretty late, well after the whistle. Very lucky.
No 50. Now the short kick to Sard in the back pocket and a nice low drop punt about 25 metres to Kennedy, who marks just outside defensive 50.
Doherty runs hard to receive. Down to 55 seconds before quarter time. 29 disposals last week. Sam Doherty very busy. Silvani Couldn't mark, but made sure that Himmelberg didn't, and knocks it out of bounds for a throw-in. City side wing at Marvel Stadium. It's a 9-point lead to the Blues in the shadows of quarter time.
Spins back in again. Bruce in the ruck against DeCarney. Bruce, the big fella, got his hands on the footy down at ground level. Quick kick out of the pack by Hopper, and McGovern takes the mark at half-back. How tough is it to come back from a long layoff and just sort of pick up the speed at the top level?
The speed's the thing that gets you. Obviously, the fitness levels are there in terms of K's in the legs, but then just getting the pace of the game is the hard thing. Good to see him back out there, though, become a pretty important part of that back line for the Blues.
Well, kick to the wing and through the hands. It spills to the big fella to Carning, and a beautiful low drop punt. The leader was Mackay, who ran into the hole. But you've got to be able to hit them up, and DeCarney did it beautifully.
No, he did. Starting to have a little bit of an impact here. We saw Ward go and give him plenty of attention pre-first bounce, elbowing him in the back, bumping him in the side, but just starting to get his hands on the footy a little bit, starting to have an impact on this game.
So Mackay to become the first multiple goal scorer of the game. If he puts this through, the siren's gone. 48 out, drop punt, slide angle, he's hit the post. Half post high. 3-4-22, the mighty Blues, and the Giants are 2 straight goals, 12. And the first quarter is done and dusted here at Marvel Stadium. Daisy Thomas, Bernie Vince, Jack Hebron's here today with Ethan Meldrum and the great Abby Holmes down on the boundary for Bob Jane T-Mart. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Foxtel, 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
warm up with a creme brulee pie or apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's. Triple M rocks footy in 3.5 minutes. 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 1 minute. Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
'M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
Blues are up by 10 points at quarter time at Marvel. They're 3-4-22. The Giants 2 straight goals. 12, a goal each to Mackay and Curnow, the 2 big forwards from Carlton. Setterfield's got 1, and Riccardi and Canelio have got the 2 goals for the Giants. Daisy Thomas and Bernie Vince is here. Jack Heverin calling the action. This man, Ethan Meldrum, with the stats. Heath, what do they tell you about the Blues' 10-point lead at quarter time?
Well, Carlton just getting their hands on it first, plus 11 contested ball, plus 31 disposals for the game, 14 of the last 18 inside 50s of the match as well. The 2 Carlton players we've been talking about a lot, Adam Sard, Harry Mackay, 2 number 1 and number 2 ranked players for Carlton. Adam Sard, 8 kicks, 5 marks, 220 metres gained as well, and Harry Mackay, 6 disposals, 5 score involvements already, number 1 on the ground as well as 1 goal too. For the Giants, Tim Taranto, 9 disposals, Harry Himmelberg, their best player, 9 disposals, 3 intercept possessions so far.
Well, the Giants are still in this game, Burned, on the back of pressure and that intensity and effort that they brought. But with those numbers there, you can only hold up so long doing that before the Blues get it on their terms and get a lot of looks. 14 of the last 18 inside 50s is an absolute, just one-way, absolute landslide it was. So the scoreboard probably flattering the GWS Giants at the minute, but if that continues, look out.
Yeah, the second half of that first quarter, it was all dominated by Carlton and just some poor mistakes. I mean, just seeing the Harvey Norman replay, that one that just got out the back to Charlie Curnow, an easy goal, just a concentration lapse there. As Ethan was saying, plus 11 contested possession, plus 6 inside 50, just starting to get the game on their terms, Carlton, after a bit of a nervy start. And just interesting to see now, Callum Ward going back to Adam Sard. So putting plenty of time into him as that defensive forward. Did drop it, though, midway through that first quarter, and Sard had a real impact, having 8 possessions.
So it's a 10-point lead to Carlton as we start this second quarter for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy.
GWS.
And a blocking free kick. We'll go the Giants' way. As always, umpires mic'd up exclusively for Triple M footy. Bruce from inside the centre circle. Kicks long to a marking target. Giants couldn't find one. Young had it fall into his arms, and then off the side of his boot it came. The Setterfield from defensive 50. His kick a little hot for Honey. Himmelberg takes it to the boundary line.
Already the move has been made from the GWS coaching box. So Curnow now has the match up on Keefe. Sam Taylor, the shutdown defender, the caravan, he's clipped himself onto Harry Mackay.
Bob Jane Teamart, Debbie Holmes.
Plenty of things stood out to me in their opening term, guys, but Sammy Walsh, how impressive is he to watch from ground level? Take the disposals away. He had 8 to quarter time, but just his work rate, his running ability. So often we see him back as that last man in defence, and then 20 seconds later he's a key playmaker in a goal inside 50. So I'm just really enjoying watching him go about it, and we forget he's only 21 years of age, don't we?
You certainly do. Bob Jane Teamarts look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25. Or order online today, bobjane.com.au.
Last year's best and fairest winner, Walsh. I think he's going to go pretty close again. Ash darting around at half forward. This is another high one. They just can't find a marking target in their side, their forward 50 at the moment. McGovern takes a good grab for the Blues.
Good confidence builder too for Mitch McGovern there, coming back from a long time out. Round 2 it was. He hasn't played since. Really nice for him to get up and take a nice mark.
Well, Sard tried to step around Callum Ward, who hemmed him in against the boundary line, and Sard steps out of bounds, so it'll be thrown in. 10-point lead, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It can be tough. Well, I went away for a few weeks and seemed to hit my straps quick when I came back.
Where'd you go, Beth?
I just went, I had a working holiday.
That's what you're telling the
That's a lie.
You can tell us the truth.
No,
That sounded like a lie.
It was a piss up, yeah.
Giles, you wanted me to just go and see how the baseball was doing. Kennedy, kick inside forward 50.
It's a complete lie, I could tell from the way you spoke.
Not very true. At the back of the pack, Doherty kicks outside defensive 50 for the Blues, but the Giants could come again here. Low drop punt to fall forward, but Cottrell, the only player there, drops back in the last line of defence for the Blues. and takes the mark.
Wasn't an altitude camp, was it, Baz? Shuffle off to Utah or one of those?
To be honest, I didn't want to go, but he really twisted me on. So we need this research done.
Oh, I think it's been good for you. 3-4-22, 2 straight 12.
Need someone to go with you, Baz. Just let me know. I was available.
It's one of those things you get asked every now and again.
An overseas trip.
Himmelberg changes direction. Good kick too. Has Kennedy all on his own at centre half forward, and then a kick wider into the pocket is nice. And that build up from the Giants was good. Jake Riccardi marks 45 out, a little tougher than a 45-degree angle.
It's the Himmelberg kick. That's the one that opens up the whole fat side of the ground. It's a 50-metre kick. But the pleasing thing was it didn't have hang time. He got the good penetration through, and that's why the players and the defenders from Carlton weren't able to shuffle and close down that open side.
Kick 2 when the teams played in round 9 at Giants Stadium. This for his second. It's close and it hits the post. Giants 2-1. The Blues 3-4. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting tradies, over 120 stores, Baz, expert trade teams, design services, and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon making every tradie's job easier.
They certainly do. As Sard runs into the back pocket, takes the bounce as he does. Kicks out towards Cripps. Now, we had 2 to beat in the air. They smashed him to ground level. He hit the deck. O'Halloran runs onto the footy for the Giants and then drills a pass inboard after running inside forward 50. Toby Green presented. He just smashed the footy onto his boot and onto his chest. He's marked.
Well, he's having a bit of a laugh, O'Halloran, because I don't think he was trying to find Toby Green. He was just trying to kick it to the top of the square and shanked it off the instep of his boot. But that's what good forwards do. They watch the footy, play in front, and Toby Green just made something out of nothing.
What's he done so far, Toby, this afternoon, Heath?
Toby Green, Red Z Lending stats. This is disposal number 5 for him. Gets hit the scoreboard.
Well, here he goes from about 40 metres out, slide angle. Toby Green puts it through, as he does. Quality player. 3-1-19 the Giants. And the Blues 3-4-22, 4.5 into the second term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He certainly is quality, that man. I think he had his career low against Carlton one day in a 100-point victory. I think that was for the GWS Giants. I think he was kept to 5 disposals and a point. I'm not sure
who was on him, Dave.
I'm not really sure, but they must have been a bloody good player.
Yeah,
not the point of this story.
Was it me?
It wasn't. It was me, Bern. But you can't do much about that. Nick Newman's done a pretty serviceable job so far. But that kick, as you said, it was an absolute sack. That did everything. It went up, it went down, it went left, it went right. Yep. And it landed on one man's chest who had half a metre of separation from Nick Newman.
I'll tell you what it was, a good take, Daisy. Picked it up one hand, had some Carlton defenders coming at him. Shanked it inside, but did take the ball and took on the tackler. Luck's a fortune, but create your own luck, don't you, Baz?
You do.
That's what they tell me.
That's exactly right.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Slick takeaway from the middle from Carlton. Cripps kicking long for Curnow. Now front and centre. Honey created some space. Works back by hand. Walsh, 55 metres out. Stepped through a tackle. Then pokes a pass for Mackay. He couldn't mark Brown. Got in that leading lane. And it's last touch by Curnow. Out of bounds. Left forward pocket. 3-4-22 the Blues. The Giants 3-1-19. 6 minutes gone. It's all for Ream Hot Water, Baz. Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a room.
Well, you only speak the truth, Jack. That's what you do. Slap down the ground level. The Blues an opportunity here. Mackay, as Jack said, 40 from their goal. Little hand pass off to Shearer, but his rush kick has gone to the chest of Brown, who marks in the back pocket for the Giants. Plays on. Runs and delivers a long ball back here towards the wing. Riccardi's in the van. De Koning there for Carlton. Slaps it to ground level on hands and knees. Bruin punts it out to Taranto. Dangerous hand pass though that Walsh got in the way of. Hand pass back to Plowman. He'll track the bouncing footy back here on the wing.
Had time to assess options and make a good decision, which he did. Looks wide to Mackay. Broadcast wing here at Marvel Stadium. Blues by 3 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. We tick up to 7 minutes gone in this second quarter. Walsh drops one that he would normally have taken. Now Bruin on the end of a long handball. Sard's there with him. Bruin against the boundary line, kept it in, but Sard was just that little bit better. Paddled it towards Walsh, who was then sandwiched by Sproul. It's a tough footy out there, boys.
Certainly is. Well done to Sard. You can hear the applause coming from the Carlton faithful. Happy with his efforts there. Bruin was out. He made the effort, put the head down, effected a good tackle, then won the ball back.
Beautiful tap down from Briggs to Taranto. And Taranto got to kick the ball towards half forward for the Giants. Now it's a fight for the footy because it hit ground level. Sproul sat on top of the pack, and Plowman gets off the ground from underneath him, and the umpire calls for a ball up. So it's around about 60 metres away from the Giants' goal as Toby Green trots back towards full forward. Will it go his way? Nice tap again from Briggs to Taranto again. They're working well together. Hand pass back to Ware. He goes across the body, kicks just inside forward 50. But a big fist on the footy sees it out of bounds, about 65 around from the Giants' goal.
Toby Green, unlucky there not to get a free kick. He's gone back to goal. He's got the mismatch on Wiedering. He had a good look at a run and jump there. Wiedering went the big hand, the big paw on the right shoulder, retarded him in his efforts to try and mark it. Went to ground, umpire didn't pay it.
Daisy Thomas, Triple M Seabass Super special comments. Seabass Super making hard work pay off. Kennedy's kick was touched as it goes out of bounds. I reckon Abby might have picked up a stat down there for Bob Jane T-Marts. No disposals for Abby.
Well, you can't talk when you're handballing.
That's true. That's true.
We'll let her off. Just was she handballing or Christine?
Pushed aside her netball research notes or her lawn bowls research. Ward couldn't take it away, but Cripps does. Right near where Abby sits for Bob Jane T-Marts. Kennedy handballs to Dow. That's where O'Brien, I should say. And he blazes that one out of bounds. So the Blues haven't been able to get on the scoreboard so far in this second quarter, Baz. They're 3-4-22. The Giants 3-1-19.
Yeah, it's a bit of an arm wrestle, isn't it, at the moment?
Exactly the way the Giants want it, though. They don't want that open, free-flowing game that Carlton want, that uncontested ball. Very good in the contest, Carlton, but this is exactly the way the Giants want it.
Ward with a long kick towards half forward for the Giants. Plowman back of the pack will clean up. Hand pass to McGovern. Real sort of sideways, quick look hand pass to O'Brien that missed him. And he only got a fingertip on it before it went out of bounds. So a boundary throw in. The Giants lock it in their forward half. Still about 65 around from their goal. 3 points up the Blues. We're 9.5 into the second term.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. To Koenig. Tries to handball towards the boundary line. Kennedy bent down and pick it up. Tackle from Ware. Rolls him to the line.
Similar to the first quarter, really, isn't it? The Giants doing most of the attacking without putting some real dominance for all their efforts onto the scoreboard. So Carlton holding up really well defensively. Just a matter of time before they get the momentum and go forward and get their opportunities.
Jacob Ware in his 9th game today as a Giant. Debut season looks pretty good. Cornelio and Brown. Handballs inboard. Taranto heard a voice, and that was Cornelio, so it goes back to him. Left foot kick is good to centre half back, and he's got Haynes.
So Haynes right on his defensive 50, got a player straight up the centre of the ground, and Lloyd, little short pass defensive side of the centre he is. Little one to Ware again, he's 15 metres away, so they work it to right into the middle of Marvel Stadium. That's where Cottrell stands the mark. Now can go slightly forward, another short pass, 15-20 metres to Taranto. Taranto looks to the short lead of Cornelio and elects to go, no, I'm going long inside forward 50. Out comes Sproul, doesn't mark, punts the side of the pack to Lloyd. Hand pass off to his teammate in Hopper. His hand pass to his target is cut off by Kennedy of the Blues, pushed it back into a pack. Cripps, clean hands to Cottrell were magnificent. Hand pass to O'Brien, went back to Cottrell, not the best option, but they'll go again here, the Blues. Walsh swoops on it, cleans it up. Hand pass to Plowman, back to O'Brien. Now a kick across the wing to beat Charlie Curnow, who marks 70 out from the Blues goal. It's an open forward line.
And that's where he's going to head, Baz. Motlop's the target, the smallest man out there, almost marked. Himmelberg bats it away from him and to the advantage of Brown. In front of Haynes, still inside defensive 50. Cornelio slips over. Carlton get the footy back. Fisher, eyes darting around, not sure what to do. Gave it to Walsh. Now Cripps, extra one to Silvani, 45 out. Back to Cripps. Standing start is off to the right. The Blues 3-5, the Giants 3-1. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Nearly 12 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Inside 50s for Red Z, please, Ethan.
9-2 GWS this way this quarter, so they've swung it around the Giants.
So Himmelberg at full back to bring it back in. Cumming is screaming for it. He's on defensive 50. Himmelberg decides to play it himself because he had space in front of him. Why wouldn't you? 2 bounces, nearly runs to the 50-metre defensive line. In the end, he looks a little bit sideways and goes very, very short. And the mark taken by Cornelio. So called to get onto it by the umpires, as you can hear. Little short ball to Ash. Centre field sets on him, and Just enough body contact to bring the ball to ground. Hopper swoops on it, try to get it to Haynes. Silvani got in the way. It's on the wing here. Briggs, the big fella, sort of falls over the footy, allowed Fisher in. Punched out a hand pass to Sard, immediately bounces the ball and then goes for the beautiful long, drilling low drop punt to the leader in the forward pocket in Mackay. And he rolls and tumbles, takes the mark about 40 metres out.
Unbelievable play there by Sard. Had the handball given to him, standing start.
He's played on Mackay, that's why Daisy hesitated. Curnow inboard about 15 metres, better angle, and he marks 40 out.
And just took the ball. There we go again.
Daisy stops, starts, because Curnow giving him no time to deliver the special comments. He's a bit filthy in the performance, mate. He's kicked the point.
He's just thrown his book on the ground.
Yes, he's had a guts full. 3-5-23 Carlton, 3-1-19 the Giants, 14 second term Days, the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yes, they can
give us your goal.
Come on,
Days. We want to hear your goal.
Moment's gone.
He's cracked.
Sard was good. Curnow and Mackay were crap.
And he had some gold too.
And I've given up too. Don't know why, but
supporting my mate.
Silvani.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Uses Durden, 55 metres out, low pass into the pocket. Not great. So you haven't really got an issue, Bern. You just had enough, have you?
Couldn't be bothered.
That's fair.
And that's why you're a good teammate, Bern. You're not sure why you're with me.
Nah, but I'm with you,
yeah.
Dave. I'm with you. Don't know why, but that's what I get told a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to you and I then, Baz.
It's the question I get asked a lot. I don't know the answer to it.
Kicks batted out of bounds. Do you have meters gain on all of your Reds Head
Sard
leaders
would
there,
be up there, wouldn't he?
How would Adam Sard be going?
He will be.
Adam Sard, number one on the ground, 313, 10 disposals, 90% by foot. Harry Himmelberg right behind him, number one ranked player on the ground, 13 disposals, 7 intercepts so far.
Reds Head lending, loans for the self-employed. Setterfield, at left half forward. Gave it to Walsh, who continues to rack them up. Kicks on his non-preferred to the pocket. Curnow off by hand to Mackay, impossible angle. So squares it up, great kick. Cottrell had Kennedy out of position. And he marks 15 out. Should go back and kick his first.
Now, nice give there from Curnow. One take players, we love them in the competition. And big Harry Mackay looked after him before that little kick inside with the shot on goal. And Curnow just handballed it off nicely. And big Mackay thought, I'll just kick it to the top of the square. And Cottrell took it nicely. He should finish for Carlton.
5 goals won for the season. Makes it 6. And the Blues kick their first of the second quarter. And they lead by 11 points, 4-6-30 to 3-1-19 Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 15 goals second quarter.
A rare goal assist there for Harry Mackay, just his 7th on the season.
Was he having a shot?
He wasn't. That was good discipline. So usually he does have a ping. Well done. They're bringing each other into the game. It has been unselfish from the Blues. Mackay before, although we were trying to talk about it, took the mickey out of it. He did find Curnow on the short option, which was a better look at goal. Charlie Curnow not good enough to finish on that occasion. The Blues now got the ball up there in, locked it in after that GWS patch of dominance, and looking far more threatening when they go forward.
That's already 7 score involvements for Harry Mackay. Next best on the ground has 4, only from 10 disposals as well.
Triple M Reds Head landing stats delivered there by Ethan Meldrum for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. And the Blues get a steadier. Nice 11-point lead. The bounce is good. High. Bruce slaps down to ground level. Trying to work his way through. That was Bruin. He slapped it back into the midfielders and they pile on top. Tackles laid. Silvani gets up. The umpire will take the footy. Still right in the middle here of Marvel Stadium. Thrown in the air. As the players flooding off the square. The umpire's got a high contact free kick and it's going to go to Carlton. Interesting when the umpire blows the whistle and all the players have to look to see what it's for. Silvani, though, receives it right in the middle of Marvel. He's gone for the barrel. Gone for the torpedo. Motlop's flown, but he flew about, I reckon, good 2, 3 to 5 seconds a bit early.
Touch silly.
Beautiful leap. And his opponent in Brown will get the free kick. Full back for the Giants.
Just a bit of park footy from the boys out there. Win the clearance, take the torp, and then go for the hanger 4 hours early.
All we're missing is a banana from the pocket.
That's it.
Got nowhere near that.
And that's what we love with that.
Yeah. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Great deals on cooking appliances. Now on Harvey Norman. Shop the world's best cooking brands.
Jump out, please.
In store or online.
You in store, man, Baz, or online?
I like to go in store.
Yes.
Yeah, I like to go in store, have a bit of a chat.
Touch it,
lovely
feel it.
salespeople there.
See if you can
They set you right, I tell you.
See if you can worm another 100 off the sale price.
Yeah, no.
He's good at that, Baz.
No, they love me going in. I'm a real dummy, so get me every time.
There's a Halloran. Right half forward. It's a 1-on-3. Deep for Bruce. He never really got a look at it. The Blues kill the contest and fist it towards the boundary line. It'll be thrown in right forward pocket. Carlton 4-6. John 3-1. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yes, the Blues doing it nicely. They've had a bit of an arm wrestle with the Giants so far, though. Have presented themselves well today here at Marvel. Good defensive pressure, but the Blues up to the task as well so far. Doherty's got it in the back pocket. Little hand pass off to Silvani, who kicks Carlton out of the back pocket. Curnow, a long way from goal, goes at it with Bruce. Neither took the mark. Rolling around on ground level as Walsh. Just beautiful hands to Setterfield. Knew he was there as he was tackled on the ground. He punched out a hand pass to Chera. Got it to Plowman by hand. Then the Saad, look at him go. Runs through the centre.
Look at the kick.
Got a player, one out inside forward 50, and that is Cottrell again. Haynes was running, but he had a half a metre of separation on him, as you heard from our experts in the back row. It was a beautiful kick.
Listen to the Carlton fans just clapping Adam Saad off. I think the Giants need to put some more time back into Adam Saad. We saw a lot of physical contact. It was probably only for 5 or 10 minutes. Callum Ward was the player that put a bit of time into him, but we haven't really seen it since, and he's having a real impact on this game. Elite kick inside 50 again, finds a target. Cottrell should kick his second.
6 goals, 1 for the season. This is nice from 25, and he slots that as well. Slide angle. That's not a bad record, is it, for the goals? And he's done nicely. His second goal of the afternoon. He's second for the second term, and the Blues, they skip further ahead. 5-6-36 plays 3-1-19. And that is all on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard at the 19-minute mark of the second term. Supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and design services, and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon makes every tradie's job easy.
Well, the issue for the Giants is Cal Ward's doing it for the first 5 minutes, but as part of his rotation, he then goes on ball for that second part before he makes his way to the bench. So whoever that falls out to, the next forward in that forward line needs to put the same effort and intensity in that Cal Ward was. We were watching at the start of the game. He was clearly under his skin early, taking every step with him, niggling him, little elbows in the back, really getting underneath his skin there, putting him off his game. But once he gets that respite, just doing as he pleases, Saad.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Blues have got this out now to a game-high 17-point lead at Marvel Stadium. And Cripps was away, but free kick's going to come back.
Those ruck free kicks are so annoying. Both players just turn to the umpire and say, who?
There's too many of them, Dace. Briggs drives deep. Sproul at the back. Just needed it to sit. Bruce off the ground.
Oh, hit the post. Did it?
Must have.
Did.
Yeah. Graze the timber.
That's okay, I'll call it.
Right on, mate. Well, I thought you'd given up, so we're picking up the load because I thought you were done.
McGovern from fullback. Long ball for the Blues out the outer side to Cripps. Why wouldn't you go there? But this time the ball bounced away from him and Broome grabbed it. He was tackled by Chera, and they both went to ground on the wing outer side. The umpire will ball it up. 5-6-36 Carlton, 3-2-20 the Giants. 20 and a half minutes into the second term. Beacon Trade scoreboard. Ball will be thrown in the air. Big Briggs. Big, strong-looking lad. Slaps it down to Taranto.
Has to be holding the ball.
Back of the pack, O'Halloran has his kick touched as he kicks the half forward though for the Giants. So Sprout tries to shove it through away. Young sent underneath the footy for the Blues. Tackle to the ground, looks at the umpire. What about me? And it's going to be a free kick to the Giants.
Ball up it'll be, Baz.
That's a ball up,
He was claiming a mark, but the umpire rightfully said it was touched off the boot.
All right, Briggs taps down to ground level, still 50 away from the Giants' goal.
Haven't quite cleared yet, Carlton. Now they should. Lewis Young. Been a really handy pickup for the Blues. It's his 15th game of the season today, Days. He played 24 in 4.5 years at the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Obviously, when Wiedering went down, he was the man who had to hold up and did a pretty good job.
Callum Brown smashes it to the boundary line and it's over. City side wing. Blues 5-6. Giants 3-2. 22 minutes gone.
Big 5 minutes here in the game. Just feel like the Blues have weathered the storm from the GWS Giants like they did in that first quarter. Now getting the game on their terms. So GWS Giants, high alert. Need to not let Carlton kick 1 or 2 goals in the last 5 minutes.
Next goal's big, isn't it?
Oh, stoppage work there from Broome. Releases Kennedy. Didn't see what was coming from the side. Just got a handball away. Ash gave a hot one, and Honey pounces for the Blues and kicks it out wide.
Yeah, it's a bouncing footy on the outer side wing. De Koning will get there first, the big lumbering big man for the Blues. Picks it up, nice hands to Kennedy, delivers to Silfani, and he'll get a chopping of the arms free kick. He just about had enough of it anyway as a mark. So he's about 65 out from goal. Jack skips back with a footy, crowded forward 50 now. So he pops it to about 20 metres out. And in front was Brown, who read that nicely for the Giants. And he took the defensive mark just outside of fullback.
He's the sub last week, Callum Brown, unused. A couple of weeks ago, kicked a bag against Hawthorn, but playing as a defender this afternoon. Big fly came from De Koning, couldn't drag it down. Taylor bends down, gathers. O'Halloran at half-back. Taranto, short. That noise you might have heard is the umpire getting poleaxed.
Hits the deck.
No one-on-one.
He's all right.
Inside 50, Sprout was in good position for the Giants and should have marked that ball and didn't. Lloyd pushed over. McGovern handballs out. Chera fires one out to Fisher. And now they start to get moving, the Blues.
Yeah, they're on the run. Silvani receives the hand pass, takes the bounce to the outer side wing, indicates to his forwards to move. He went to Cripps, who snuck away from Ward. And they're going to be a boundary throwing because Cripps tried to hand pass that was smothered out of bounds, and I don't know what Cripps was sort of pleading for there.
It was Cal Ward who got a hand in on the mark, but the Carlton players arguing that if the umpire hasn't called play on, you can't slap your arm about, but if he doesn't move, he's well within his right to do so.
Spins back into play. It's about 65 around from Carlton's goal.
Beat everyone in the end from the throw-in. Taranto handballs off to O'Halloran, and Giants have got the corridor. Cornelio waits for it to bounce. He's 65, best part of 70 around from goal. Lays it off. Ash run hard to receive. At right half forward, the Giants trail by 16 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Now Ash kicks a high one. Bruce camped under it. Wiedering eased him out, then won the footy himself. That was excellent. Fisher off to Walsh.
And Walsh takes a bounce, runs out of side towards defensive 50 and goes really long, but too damn long. And it's out of bounds on the full. Callum Brown to take it. He'll bring it back in for the Giants. What have we got in the clock? 3:23 of game time in the first half. The Giants trail by 16 points. As Brown can bring them towards their forward 50. It's a real short ball to O'Halloran, who presented about 15 metres further on. So still a good 70 out from their goal. Peatling runs onto the ground underneath us, sneaks into their forward 50. He's gone for the low drop punt and searching and offhands. Toby Green snaps it for his second. That was brilliant from hand to foot within half a second. And Green just showing all his class front and square. 4-2-26 the Giants now. 5-6-36. Good goal for the Giants. 10 points the difference now with the Blues ahead. 25.5 second term Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, important goal for the Giants too, because we said the next goal, it's a big goal and just something out of nothing there. Have a look at that on the Harvey Norman replay. Just one-touch players. I love watching them in the AFL. Toby Green's one of them. And geez, talk about right spot at the right time. That is an elite, not just to take the ball clean off a spoil, but to finish as well. That's elite, and that's why he separates himself from most others in the competition.
Lewis Young was going to take that on the second bite in his lap. Toby Green, sensing that he fumbled it, took it out from between his face and his belly button, then jammed it on within one step.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. So the Giants back within 10 points, and they get that important goal that we were talking about. Ward's got a task at half-back. That handball was a long way out in front of him. And Cornelio goes and cleans it up. Tumbly ball to the wing. Peatling with a full chest, gave to Ward. The push came after Peatling got rid of it. Umpire had called advantage, but it's going to come back.
Bit lucky there, the Giants.
So Himmelberg on the wraparound. That kick going over the head of Riccardi. What'd you see, Bern?
Nah, nothing. No, I didn't see anything. That's not. I don't know whether that's a push in the back. Just a bit of body work. Ball was always going over the back, and the umpire got a little bit sucked in there.
Riccardi inboard to Taranto. He's 55 metres around from goal. Giants would love to get two in a row here as we edge closer to half time. Jacob Weir, the man on the mark. 52 out. He's told to play on. He's a left footer.
Oh.
Got Sard up in the air. Got to 48. Blazes away.
Yeah.
It's there. What a finish. His 4th goal in game number 9. Good time for it to come. Giants are back within 4 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, for everything brilliant that Sard's done on the afternoon, the one thing he couldn't do there was get sucked into jumping in the air, force the ball long. The crowd was getting restless as they'd taken an eternity, the GWS Giants, to get it in there. Every person on the ground was centre forward for the GWS Giants. There was no space. A high kick to the top of the square would have been a great result for the Blues. But the only thing Sard couldn't do, he did do, and really well played there from where. Really nice class to think his way through it. But then once he did get around, just took that little half steadying step and banged it home from 50.
Nice Woodville West Torrens boy from Adelaide, Baz.
Yes, good stock.
Bit of class about him.
They beat him tough there, Bern.
Yeah.
Triple M Super special comments. Bernie
missed
Biggs,
out.
Daisy Thomas. Tell you what, you could not question their attack on this game tonight. They are having an absolute crack here this afternoon. They're running for each other. And they're fierce at the contest. And there's Big Briggs. He just slammed his body into the coning. He hit the deck, and Briggs just tapped it forward for the Giants. They've got a bit of a sniff here.
No, they have. They got their tails up at the moment, the Giants. This is a bit of a danger. I know we're approaching half-time, but just a little bit of a danger period here for Carlton. Can't give another one up.
Well, they get the clearance again. Tap down to Cornelio. He fell to his backside. Real high kick. The half-forward. Green got caught high. Toby Green's free kick went to run away.
Is that a free?
Right round there. Well, you have a look on the Harvey Norman, see what you think, because a jumper goes missing. Someone's ripped there.
Someone's nude.
Yeah. White nude. Oh, it's ripped to shreds.
Oh, it is. How did that happen?
It's Brackets McGovern's, who he
Big
won't be
McGovern.
happy with that. He'll be trying to cover up.
Yeah.
Not a great rig.
Well, when he first got to the footy club, his nickname was Brackets because the 11 just sort of stretched on his back a little bit.
Went outward stage.
It did.
I like that.
He is back in decent form, though, but that was a free kick. That wasn't the Ginnivan high tackle. That was a jet set decapitation.
So Toby Green is directly in front. He's got to kick this about 52 metres. And if he does, the Giants will hit the front on half-time. It's low, it's long, it's a point. 5-3-33, the Giants 5-6-36. Shut up, Bert. 29 and a half into the second term. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Didn't look like a goal. I nearly went with you.
Yes.
Geez, you make points sound good, Baz. You really do.
Oh, it's my speciality.
It's an art form.
Yeah. Carried me through the years.
That's something from the baseball, is it, Bass?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
I need to go over there and learn that.
It's a good fact-finding mission for you, wasn't it?
Well, it was. That's all it was. I didn't want to go, but anyway, I did it for the company.
Yep.
That's what we love about you. Taranto can load up, send the Giants deep again. O'Halloran bumped out. Good contest by Sproul. Plowman, his kick went about 4 metres, fell into the arms of Cripps, gave a hot handball to Kennedy. They're far from out of danger yet, the Giants. Other Blues, I should say. Peatling snaps quickly. But Sard is having a big say in this game. Mark's in the back pocket.
Yes, the former Bomber's been very good this afternoon. Sard, deep in defence. Left foot ball outside defensive 50. Good 45 metres off hands. O'Haines will bring it back in real quick. But a rush kick's gone straight to Doherty, who stood alone about 10 metres in the clear of anybody and took a nice mark. Got it over to his teammate and O'Brien, who goes short out to Mackay on the outer side wing, a long way from home. And off hands it goes out of bounds. Another boundary throw. Been a good game of footy so far this afternoon as we approach half-time. Just seconds remaining in this first half, and Carlton lead it by 3 points.
So it's the Blues who led by 10 points at quarter time. As Baz said, the Giants are well and truly up for this game. O'Halloran wrapped up, outer side wing. What does Xavier O'Halloran's afternoon look like? 8th?
12 disposals, but 10 in this quarter, 4 inside 50s as well.
Triple M Red Z lending. Sard at half back. The Doherty times ticking by. And the halftime siren will see the Blues lead, but only just. Good, tough, uncompromising game of footy at Marvel Stadium. Carlton 5-6-36. The Giants 5-3-33. Daisy Thomas, Bernie Vince, Ethan Meldrum, Abby Holmes, boundary side for Bob Jane Team Arts, Baz and Jack, and for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
that quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Triple M rocks footy in 3.5 minutes. 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 One minute. Thirty seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
3M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
Half-time at Marvel Stadium. It's all for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. The Blues lead by 3 points at the main break. 5-6 to 5-3 over the Giants. In what's been a pretty good contest so far, Daisy Thomas, Bernie Vince. It's tough, it's hard. A premium on contested ball.
No, exactly how the Giants wanted this game to play, and they've turned up. They've right from the start. That Caniglio goal early, they just started the way they wanted to. They've created a fight around the stoppage. They've never really looked like they've dominated at any stage, but they've just found a way to kick goals at crucial times. And we did say the next goal was a big goal. They're able to kick the last two in that quarter, and just somehow they've just stayed in the contest when. Carlton really dominated that first quarter, but that's what teams like this can do. They can drag you back down to a level that you're not comfortable playing football at, and that's what the Giants are doing at the moment.
Yeah, it was pleasing to see from the Giants' point of view. With 5 minutes to go, it felt like the Blues had just withstood that surge that the Giants had for the better part of the first half of that second term there, and it looked like they were really pressing and going to open them up, but they found a way to score. Obviously that Toby Green goal was absolute class. That's something that just sets him above the rest, and something that you need in these sort of games, making the most of just a little opportunity. But they've been brilliant. The pressure in and around the footy's been outstanding, and again, the issue for the Blues is when that pressure comes, their ball movement goes back to being safe. They're living long down the line. We've seen them dump a few out of bounds on the full. And the Cats last week gave the GWS Giants a perfect blueprint as to what they do. Yes, they don't have the calibre that the Cats have, but that effort and intensity, that's what we're talking about, and that's what they needed to bring, and that's what they've brought so far. That's why they're well in this game.
16 points up, Carlton, and I felt like it was just almost at that tipping point. If Carlton got the next one, you could see it really blowing out, but to the Giants' credit, they just stuck in, and a couple of goals out of nothing. Toby Green, as you said, kicked one off the pack and just found a way to stay in it. And now they're right back in it, only a couple of points down at half-time, and they'll be loving this, the Giants.
It's just watching the body language here on the Harvey Norman replay. They're inside the Giants' rooms. You can sort of tell from their body language they feel like they're in the game as well.
And that's one of the big things. Sometimes you look at the scoreboard and you go, geez, we feel like we've played better than what we have. I think they've still got more to offer as well. They have made the most of their opportunities late in that quarter, but the first quarter and the second quarter there, for 10 minutes they dominated without putting any real scoreboard pressure on. So I think it was 8-1 the inside 50s for the first 10 minutes of that quarter then, without them really cutting into that lead. So they'd be saying, look, we continue to press, we'll get our opportunities, try and find that mark, lower your eyes, try and connect a little bit better centre forward. Not only are we well in this, but at the moment they could go on and kick a decent score.
It's the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. The Blues lead by 3 points. Ethan Meldrum, Triple M Red Z lending stats. What are the numbers telling us from the first half?
Well, just looking at the last 10 minutes of that second quarter, from that point where Carlton was 16 points up, as Bernie was saying, Giants really dominated. 9 of the last 10 inside 50s. Contested ball, 15-8. Clearances, 7-1 in GWS's favour. Big response from them. Went 82% by foot in that quarter as well, so really efficient by foot. Leading players on the ground, Tim Taranto up to 20 disposals, 5 clearances, 5 inside 50s. They're all game highs. Harry Himmelberg close behind. He's the number 1 ranked player on the ground. 14 disposals, 7 intercept possessions so far. 2 score launches as well, so they're getting good use by foot from him. Paddy Cripps up to 18 disposals for the Blues. Sam Walsh 17, and Adam Saar, their number 1 ranked player, 13 disposals. 418 metres gained. That's a game high, above his season average as well.
We've been talking a bit about Adam Saar. At the start of the game, Callum Ward went to him. That seemed as if it dropped off after about 5 minutes. Do they go back to that now?
I think they have to. And at the start of that second quarter as well, we saw Callum Ward go back to him again. We thought, oh, no, they're gonna go with it again. They're going to stick with it, go back to it. But then it's sort of like it's a bit of a Bravo sort of push and shove at the start of the quarter, and then Saar just ran around doing what he wanted again. So that elite kick that he's got and the finish inside 50, saw him go inside 50 2 or 3 times. He's hit targets every time, resulted in at least 2 goals, at 3 shots on goal. So I think he's someone that generates run for Carlton. I'd love to see him put a bit more time into him and just some physicality, have the real team focus on stopping Adam Saar, and wherever he goes, it doesn't have to be Callum Ward every time, but just put time with him, bump him off his run, because Carlton energised. They get energy from the way Adam Saar plays and that run off half back, and as we know, he's an elite ball user, so I reckon they need to shut that down, because that's where their run's coming from.
Yeah, and in the modern game, as a defender, you take the proactive space. So if the ball's 60 metres away, you know comfortably that most players can only kick it 50, 55 at max. So you can take the front position. That's going to be a long, high ball. But when Saad gets it, he runs that 10 and immediately puts you out of position. Then he has the penetration and the finish on top of that. So that's why he's so damaging. He's connecting those forwards that are at times getting further away from the footy than they should, and bypassing those proactive GWS defenders.
Let's get to the halftime. Amy Clanger, who covers Clangers on and off the field? Amy does.
The Himmelberg who marks and goes very short to Taranto.
There's another umpire with whistle issues, Dave. We had one last night.
Yeah, it's becoming a real trend across the AFL. They need to sort out the umpires. One job, and that's to make sure your bloody equipment's working.
Do they blow them pre-game? Do they practice?
Maybe they should.
Equivalent of a warm-up for us, them just like 15 blows on each side. It's a pigeon bird.
Actually, now I've listened to that. That was pigeon-like.
That was very
It was,
pigeon.
no, it was nothing like a whistle.
Well, that's kind of how the whistles are sounding, though, for the umpires.
Well, exactly what I was trying to do.
There's a sponsorship or a marketing opportunity
There
these
is.
days. I know you're an entrepreneur, but there's a chance here to really try and improve things for the
There
umpires.
certainly is. Even if they go to the ones you see at the primary schools these days when you do the clinics, just the handheld little squishy one. More time to...
What's that?
Just a whistle that you squeeze rather than blow it and requiring a pee, which obviously once the saliva's getting into it, isn't working.
Half-time for Bosch Power Tools.
I've not seen the squeeze one.
Google it, burn it.
Not even sure
don't
that's
have
real.
Google.
Covering all the big stuff here on Triple M Footy. It's Carlton by 3 points at the main break. 5-6-36
Google's
to the
got
Giants. 5-3-33. For more of that hard-hitting stuff, don't go too far. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power. Backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Till Triple M rocks footy. Till Triple M rocks footy. Till Triple M rocks footy. Seconds till Triple M rocks footy. 60 seconds till Triple M rocks footy. Seconds till Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Blues led by 10 points, I should say. At quarter time, they lead by 3 points at half time. They're 5-6-36. The Giants 5-3-33. Daisy Thomas and Bernie Vince are in the house. Jack Evans calling the action. We've got Ethan Meldrum and Abby Holmes is here as well. We'll get down to Abby very, very shortly as the second half not far away from beginning. Player matchups, Bern, you were keeping an eye on it before the game for SKG Radiology. SKG Radiology now bulk billing on all Medicare rebatable services. Is there a couple of matchups that have caught your eye in this game so far up to a half?
Well, the chat before the game was who Sam Taylor was going to go to, and we were thinking, well, whoever he doesn't go to will be licking their lips and maybe a chance to cash in. But the defence or the team defence from the Giants has been pretty good. Inside 50s, they're ahead on that table as well, and I don't think it matters who Sam Taylor's really gone to because we've seen Kerno have a bit of an impact. Harry Mackay got on a fair run there early in that second quarter, but I just love the pressure from the Giants around the footy. It hasn't really mattered what the matchup's been inside 50 because they're getting the job done around the contest, and they're just turning this into a sort of a dour sort of contest, aren't they? And that's probably the only way the Giants were going to beat Carlton, if they are to beat them, is to bring Carlton back down to their level a little bit and create a real contest and make it a sort of an ugly game. But when I say ugly, it's actually been pretty entertaining because there's been some big contests and big tackles. Adam Sard, as we mentioned, is having a real effect on this game. So it'll be interesting to see if they put any time into him in this third quarter.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath. Need a break, book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. Where we're going after this one, and there's one in the middle that's pretty big as well.
Yeah, straight after this, West Coast v St Kilda, Lockie Reed, Tom Atkinson, Andrew Embley, Xavier Ellis looking after that one for us. And also at the MCG, just across town, Collingwood v Essendon. Of course, Carlton and Collingwood both occupying 6th and 7th on the ladder. So tossing and turning those two spots today, depending on the results.
Magnificent. And that is a solid team in Perth, no doubt about it. This is the halftime break coming to a close for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. Just a quick one from me on the Bulldogs last night. They've got Geelong next week on Saturday night footy as well. It was a phenomenal victory last night, a come-from-behind win against the competition's favoured leader, and very impressive they were, the Western Bulldogs. Where do you see them?
Yeah, it was incredible. I came into the game and not really expecting much from them, to be honest. I thought that was going to be a real statement game from the D's, a real opportunity to cement themselves as that second seed. We know how good the Cats are going, but the Dogs were relentless. They wore them down, took their opportunities late and got over the top of them. And now for them, another massive challenge this week. So we're going to know at the end of not only this round, but then the next round to come when they take on the Cats, exactly where they are, if they are just filling a spot in the 8 or if they are a chance to go deep and really cause some upsets come finals time.
IJ Liquor scoreboard this quarter, 3 points up are the Blues to start the second half. Don't forget to add a drop to your shop. Add a drop to your shop this footy season at IJ Liquor, like a 6-pack of beers to go with your footy snacks. Head to ijliquor.com.au to find your local store. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great job. Bob Jane Teamarts this afternoon. Abby Holmes is on the boundary line, Abs, as we get set to start the second half.
Yeah, clean bill of health on the injury front, which is good. We saw Mitch McGovern cop a really heavy knock about 30 seconds before half time, but he looks okay. He's changed his Guernsey and ready to go in this second half.
Bob Jane T-Marts look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. Jack Heverin to kick us off in the second half.
Callum Ward putting some time again into Adam Sard. Let's see if they stick with it this time.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. This game very much up for grabs as we start the third quarter. Walsh with the clearance and then a high kick to half forward. Cottrell had a good chance to take it with him and couldn't. Koning dispossesses Himmelberg and the Blues take the advantage. Kennedy into the pocket. Silvani used his body. No one's touched it. Keith escorts it through for a point. It takes the Blues 25 seconds. The first score of the third quarter. They're 5-7. Giants 5-3. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
So Cumming goes straight up the ground to Hopper, who marks about 30 from the goal. He's defending for the Giants. Looks to the outer side wing, but his kick's going to fall short here. McGovern will mark. So for the Blues, he sends them deep and long back inside forward 50. They attack hard early in this third quarter. Motlop at the fall of the ball. Curno's lurking around as well. Haynes gets in the way. Got a little hand on it. Was able to knock it away from those two players and out of bounds left forward pocket for the mighty Blues, who have a 4-point lead.
So a good crowd for Sunday afternoon footy. All the way up to the top decks at Marvel Stadium, which is normally a pretty good sign. Not sure many of them are wearing orange. Another ball up once again. Left forward pocket. 25 metres out from goal. Ash for the Giants. Steps through the traffic. His kick rolls and rolls and rolls. Beats O'Brien. And Newman handballed over his shoulder. It stays just inside O'Brien. Got it back. Kicks a high up and under ball. It might just stay in. Curnow came in from the side and almost dragged it in. Out of bounds for a throw in. Left forward pocket.
A bit of a slow start to the second half after a tight first half. And the Blues search at their end of the ground. Right about broadcast position. Mackay in the ruck slaps it down to the superstar, the Rolls Royce. The champion in Cripps. He's wrapped up in a tackle straight away. There's 3 Giants defenders do that. Ball up, Cripps and Mackay has his kick smothered. Bounce back to him. Little hand pass out wide towards his teammate in Honey. Honey got there, but he overran it in the end. Cottrell picks it up at the back of the pack. Hand pass to Motlop. A lot of traffic around this footy. So every possession got to be real quick. It's on the deck again. Putting his head over it, trying to win it for the Giants. Canilio lost it. Barging through was Honey. Honey tackled, lost it. Fisher lays the tackle. It's still 15 metres from Carlton's goal. And the umpire comes in to ball it up once again. So they're searching the Blues early in this third term.
They're almost there, Baz. They're gaining some ground. Kennedy. Quick snap on the left. No good. 5-8 the home team. The visitors 5-3. 3 minutes gone. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Himmelberg to bring it back in.
Again, the Giants held up really well there. It wasn't pretty, but just that effort, one after the other, stacking them up, holding them in good stead.
Oh, Himmelberg to Ward at half-back. It was straight up the middle of the ground, and he was sat on and spoiled, but the Giants will get a free kick out of this, so they're lucky to get away with that one.
Walsh is down as well, Baz. Obviously had that ankle injury to start the season, clutching at a left ankle.
Yep, he sure is. Well spotted, Days.
Oh, he's in a lot of pain too.
Harvey Norman replay. His hands went straight to his head. As Daisy said, that is pain, and the trainers have come out and they will help him off the ground. We'll get down to Abby Holmes very shortly when he gets closer to Abs. The Giants have possession half-back. The umpire's going to let the game go on. It's not a stretcher, so he has to be helped off by a couple of trainers. So the Blues one down at the moment. The Giants a chance to... Now he's going to let the player clear with the trainers as Taranto's marked at half-back.
Not putting any weight through that ankle, is he? This looks nasty.
Abby Holmes for Bob Jane T-Marts. What do you see?
Yeah, just making his way to the bench now. He's got a trainer in each arm, so being helped. As you said, he's not putting any weight of it, and you can see the distress in his face. We know that he's missed some footy with syndesmosis earlier this year, and he is going straight down to the rooms. He's about a metre from me, guys. Very distraught.
That didn't look good. Thanks, Abs. Bob Jane T-Marts look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on the top tyre brands. bobjane.com.au. Giants kicking to the corridor, and Sard was awake to it. He uses the stand rule to his advantage. Defensive side of the centre circle. Pops a pass up to Curnow on the lead. Still inside the centre square. Searches long. It's not that far away. Mackay couldn't mark. Haynes releases Taranto for the Giants.
That was close, wasn't it? Now he's a good grip on it. This momentum and a jolt, the ball just dropped out as Lloyd went to run away, but he went out of bounds. Boundary throw-in.
Sam Walsh been big today as well. 18 disposals, 8 contest possessions. They're both team highs for Carlton, so he's a big loss.
Massive loss, Ethan. Red Z Landing stats there. And straight down the rooms as Abby Holmeshead looked in a fair bit of distress as O'Brien barrels one to full forward for the Blues. It spills to the back to Silvani. That lands on his chest behind 3 players that were in front of him. And he's directly in front, 15 out.
Don't mind that, the torp inside 50. It's hard to judge because that actually carried in the air over the back, and Silvani read it the best, and just over the back, nice chest mark, and had a bit of a quiet day, Heath, so far, but finding himself in the play now.
Yeah, Red Z Landing stats, 11 disposals yet to score though, Jack Silvani.
Directly in front, he fires and puts it through. Jack extends the Blues lead. They go to 6-8-44. The Giants 5-3-33. We're 6 minutes now into the third term. The Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard. IJ Liga, where good food deserves a great job.
Well, a really positive third quarter start for the Blues. Feels like the ball has just lived up their end of the ground. Repeat entry stoppages, also repeat stoppages inside forward 50, and that just wears your defence down for the GWS. They have to be high alert, and if some person slips or one person just falls asleep, you can make the most of that. Inside 50s on the quarter for Red Z, please, Heath.
Yeah, 5-zip Carlton's way so far.
Scores from stoppages too, Heath.
Yeah, that's Carlton's 5th goal from a stoppage. GWS just the one. Giants lead the clearances as well, 23-21, so Carlton making the most of it.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed. Ethan Meldrum on fire with all of the numbers this afternoon for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Blues get the first of the third quarter. They've done all of the attacking so far. As Cornelio punts a high ball inside the Giants' 50 region. That'll be a high tackle. There's Newman bent down to pick it up. Lloyd caught him. And now he clears the defensive area. Crips the target out wide. He was being held. And it'll be another Blues free kick.
So Carlton certainly have started this second half well. They've lifted. Can the Giants go with them? That's the question. Little short ball to Curnow. Long way from home, but he presents himself. Marks. Kicks it inside forward 50. He had De Koning and he had Mackay in that pack, but doing well was Taylor, who dropped back and took the mark in between both players. Kicks across the goal. He's defending the Haynes. Very deep. As deep as you can get in the back pocket is Haynes. He kicks to Himmelberg, who has to run with the fly of the foot. He's got 3 Blues around him. McGovern overran it one way, but tracking the bouncing ball, Fisher was good. Picked it up. His delivery not so smart to Cottrell because Cumming, with closing speed, was able to skip it in front of him and take the mark at half back for the Giants.
Good kick too as Lloyd inside the centre square. Now on the lead. Green copped an awkward one. He dropped the mark and Plowman made him earn it on the way past. De Koning for Carlton. Went the longer option. Good choice. Honey has Cottrell driving by. 60 out. Kick goes over the head of Mackay. Haynes was there. He knew exactly what was coming for the Giants.
Yeah, certainly a moment this for the Blues. This 10-minute opening third quarter. Just trying to stamp their authority on the game. Ash receives it and marks at half-back. Little short kick outside defensive 50 to Taranto. And a play leading up in Ward. Hits him up nicely. So he's right on the boundary out of sight, about 70 from the goal he's defending. The Giants with a footy. It's from Callum Ward. 11 points up the Blues. As Ward drops it onto the right boot. Bruce in front of De Koning will mark. Good. Strong hands from the big man. Gets up with the footy. Now he can send the Giants into their forward half. Drops it onto the right boot now. Nice 45-metre drop pump, but Wiedering sits underneath this, but didn't mark. Sprouse got it. Hand pass out wide to Peatling. Peatling from 50 from the boundary line. Vacant goal square. He goes long, but he's bounced it way across the face. It's gone out of bounds. So the Giants another chance in their left forward pocket. 11 points up the Blues. 9.5 third term.
Just have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Jacob Wiedering caught one late,
didn't he?
From Toby Green.
Bit of knee on knee too on our Corky. There it is. Left knee from Toby Green into the left thigh of Wiedering. Big thighs too. Big target.
So tossed in left forward pocket. Sproul doing the ruck work for the Giants. Tapped it to the front of the stoppage. Peatling bending down, trying to pick it up. Green looking to make something happen. Newman kept him pretty close and Jacob Wiedering, abs for Bob Jane T-Marts. Looks like he's headed your way.
He is too. Yeah, he's limping to the interchange gates as we see now, and I'm just keeping a very close eye on this paperwork. It looks like a medical sub is going to be made with Sammy Walsh, and we'll see Jack Nunes injected into the action. So plenty going on down here at ground level.
Jacob Wiedering, a very, very sore boy. Still in the forward pocket. Snap over the shoulder. Cornelio, superb. Well received by the Giants crowd here at Marvel Stadium.
Dead quiet.
You wouldn't know, would you? Moral of the story is they're back within 5 points, 6-3 to 6-8. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Oh, just something from nothing it was. He had a close checking opponent there in Chera. Had half a metre of separation. It came down. De Koning actually won the hit out trying to get it down to Chera. But Cornelio good enough to fend off with one hand, take the ball and snap around his body. And again, just something from nothing. A bit of effort, a bit of ball in their half, which they didn't see for the first 10 minutes of this quarter. Hit the scoreboard, stay in check with the Blues.
They've just been able to do this throughout the afternoon, haven't they? Just when Carlton looked like just almost getting away, the Giants find a way to stay in it again.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Bernie Vince with Daisy Thomas, McDonald's, Remo Water. Triple M Rocks footy works to half forward the Blues. Kennedy gets it to Chera, who has a flying shot from 50. And he's missed everything out of bounds on the full. So Kennedy will bring it back in for the Giants. So it's closed up again. Carlton by 5 points. 11 and a half minutes into the third term.
We'll get the final team shortly for Collingwood and Essendon. Gee, dangerous kick.
Come off. They're out if he can get it over the back.
Wonderful mark from Keefe. His kick was a scrubber. It's just got out the back now, and it's worked for the Giants. Hopper inside the centre square, looks for Green. He marks.
Just a couple of lucky breaks there, wasn't it?
How bold are they coming out of D50? Even, I mean, that one was in D50 or exit from D50, but throughout the afternoon, they've just pulled that kick inside, haven't they? And quite often, even that one, that was a 1v3 as well. If that come to ground, Carlton are basically having a shot on goal. But when it does come off, that's what it does. Opens the ground up for him. Now a shot on goal at the other end.
30 metres out. Green will kick the snap for his third. He's kicked the guts of the Sharon and sprayed it across the face.
Don't see that too often from Big Toe. And just clips Newman in the back of the head.
And you see that more often.
We do see that a bit.
Boundary throw. We're going to get down to the boundary very shortly. Big news for the Blues again after some bad news with Sammy Walsh. But the Giants are close to home here, about 20 metres out. Chain of hand pass, end up with O'Halloran. Little snap won't make the distance. It'll bounce. Does it bounce home? No. Carlton keep it in. Cripps got it back. Little kick now outside defensive 50. Will bounce to the boundary line. Will it? No. As Setterfield runs back with a flight of footy and marks just inside of the line there, Abby Holmes for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Jacob Wiedering got a little bit of treatment on that left thigh, but after speaking with the docs, they've gone down for further assessment into the room. So both he and Sammy Walsh down there at the moment.
Gee, not good news for the Blues, Abs. Nicely done. Broadcast wing. Hopper receives the Kennedy handball, pops a pass up to half forward. It hung in the air for a while. Bashed away by Newman, and Cottrell accepts, runs his full measure and kicks to an out number. Cumming flew early, but all that did was create a path for Himmelberg to take an easy mark, Baz.
Yeah, it is, Jack, and he's loving his work, isn't he, at half-back. Himmelberg, who looks to go backwards with a kick and finds Keefe with an F. He kicks across half-back to Kennedy. Oh, it's with an F, isn't it?
It is.
Keefe. So Kennedy bounces one of the wing out of side of the ground. Hand passes as errant, and Doherty ends up with it for the Blues. They can go forward here. Hand pass to Chera. Kick the full forward. Kerno up one hand. One out with Himmelberg.
Well done, Himmelberg.
And Himmelberg gets a free kick. Why is it well done, Burn?
No, he was out position. Kerno had the sit on him. Just found a way to just get that to ground, and then took front position, I should say, of the contest, and then won the free kick. Sorry, I was just watching Himmelberg's work there. That was brilliant.
14 minutes gone. Carlton 6-8. Giants 6-3. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. The good food deserves a great drop. Sproul escorts it to the boundary line. And speaking of boundary line, Abby Holmes is there for Bob Jane Team Arts.
Well, looked as though the Carlton officials were doing the paperwork, and Sammy Welsh said, wait on, I'm good. He's back from the rooms, just did a bit of a fitness test on the bench, and I reckon he had some help down there, boys, but he looks good to go, which is a miraculous recovery from the emotional state that he was just in.
Good news for the Blues. Doherty out of the scrimmage will kick towards Curnow. Marks, forward pocket, plays on, 30 out, across the body, puts it through. Big Jazz. Carlton 7-8-50. The Giants 6-3-39, 15 minutes third turn. A little bit of class from Big Charlie Curnow. Triple MIJ Liga scoreboard.
Well, that's the benefit of playing in front as a key forward. As we see the ball come from stoppage, kick inside 50, and he loves snapping around the corner, Curnow, so wasted no time. As we see in the Harvey Norman replay, just a quick kick forward from Doherty, just something out of nothing again for Carlton, but just played in front, nice chest mark, run around and finished the goal. And had a bit of meaning to it, that goal. He was running around trying to pump the crowd up, a bit of voice now from the Carlton faithful, trying to pump up his teammates. He knows this one's in the balance.
I think you just saw it on the replay. He was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, he was.
Giving himself a clap.
Strutting around.
Nice one, Charlie.
Had a squiz at the Harvey Norman.
Great deals on cooking appliances now at Harvey Norman. Shop the world's best cooking brands in store, like Baz does, or online.
In store, yeah. Go down and say hello. They're good people.
Umpire's going to bring this one back. This game evenly poised right now. Halfway through the third quarter, the Blues lead by 11 points. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. As Abby told us, Walsh is back out there. He was near on amputated about 5 minutes ago. Good to see him. Haynes drives to half forward. Lloyd and Newman contest. Newman fists it to ground. Cottrell mops up. Doherty had his handball partially smothered. There's Walsh bust through. Bit of class, has centre field, and now Newman on the wing.
Yeah, Newman drops it to Curnow off half forward. Brilliant. Big Charlie in between two Giants. That was a ripping mark, contested style. Isn't Walsh a damn competitor?
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's great.
He looked done.
I know we love having Abby Holmes on the bench down there, but imagine if that was Robbo.
Yeah.
That could have been one of the great turnarounds.
It was.
He would have had the ambulance rocking up.
There would have been stretcher talk, there would have been amputation, there would have been ice bags, there would
Operations.
have been jungle juice,
Yes,
syndesmosis.
Jungle juice.
There would have been that much colour on it. Kyle run around here though. This is his distance. It is still a decent snap. Just needs to make sure. Sometimes gets these fat.
So Curnow to Mackay, and he's in the right forward pocket, and he's got to kick it about 38 metres when he does snap on that left. It comes back. It will come back enough. It will. You can see it curling. And a nice goal from Harry Mackay. Big H. And the Blues get a couple from their big stars. 8-8-56 Carlton now, 6-3-39 the Giants. 17.5 minutes third term, Triple MIJ Liga scoreboard.
They've been all Carlton the last 10 minutes, hasn't it? Starting to get some reward for their effort. The big boys are starting to get going as well, and Curnow and Mackay both hitting the scoreboard. What a mark there from Charlie Curnow, as we see on the Harvey Norman replay. He set that one up, kicks it inside to Mackay. They've looked after each other a bit today, these boys. They've been very unselfish. Not that Curnow could have had a shot from there, but they've been happy to give it off to each other and just working in tandem beautifully.
Had an interesting chat with Harry Mackay throughout the week as to what sort of range he does go the snap with, and he says he's happy anywhere outside 40, just pending game time and fatigue in his legs.
The bounce is going to come back. Abby for Bob Jane Team Arts.
Well, it was a solid mark, wasn't it, by Charlie Curnow, but he's done some damage to his right wrist, so came straight to the bench after that, and the doctor's just having a good look at it, taping it up now, but hopefully he'll get back out there.
Speaking of back out there, Walsh has had 5 touches since he's been back on the ground. Gave a handball to Cripps. He loads up to half forward for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Haynes had to kick hurriedly. Ash works back to Haynes. He's starting to run out of time. Blues lifting in this third quarter. Cripps stands under it, and that should be a mark. It is. Hang on a sec.
Just stop.
Just stop.
You need to go off the jump. Now the mark was completed. Inside. Okay, thank you. Just better to check.
Righto. We're right to go, Baz.
Always better to check.
It's better to check. It was Cripper. He was sure he took it. Long ball to full forward. Mackay the target again. Why wouldn't he be off hands? Kennedy And Briggs those small forwards in. Head pass back to Walsh. Who thought I'll have a crack from 50? Oh, no! Brown's dropped it. And swooping on it to kick off the ground from Honey. 5 metres out, has gone through for a goal. Let the boys explain that one. Goodness gracious. Another one to the Blues. 9-8-62. The 6-3-39. 19 and a half third term. Triple M IJ Liquor score. But there's a Harvey Norman, boys.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Had it sewn up, Nick Brown going back. Just a little moment when your momentum's going backwards as you're backpedaling and the ball just drops on you. It was end over end, but he had it sewn up and then just dropped an absolute punt.
Yeah, I actually, Jack had to tell me you kicked the goal, so I just had my eyes on Brown thinking, oh no. That was incredible. One of those moments. And then, how do you feel on Days back there now? He's wandering around.
Yeah, it's not ideal, Baz. No. There's nowhere you can hide. Good to see a couple of the older GWS heads down there and Keith getting around him. But I think we said it a few times now. Obviously, there's been momentum shifts in this game, and it felt like Carlton have been able to score easily when they've had the momentum. This is massive couple of minutes now for the GWS Giants. Just need to get some of the momentum back, get the ball up their end.
They've kicked the last 3 and 4 of the last 5, Carlton. They're surging. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. It's a clearance win for GWS. And Lloyd has it. 65 metres out from goal. He gets back and kicks it into the danger area. Sard got a fingertip on it. There were 3 Giants queuing up for it otherwise. And then Sard butters up, lays a tackle on Broon and forces a ball up.
Busy quarter for you, Abs. Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, Charlie Curnow back out on the ground though, boys. He was on the interchange. The doctor spent a lot of time taping his wrist up and he's just ripped it off and got straight back out there.
Thanks, Abby. Abby Holmes down there officiating the Bob Janes today before dominating the Commonwealth Games coming up the next couple of weeks. Keep your eye on Abs. Should be doing some fantastic work. On the outer side wing, Brown for the Giants. Doesn't mark, but he receives a hand pass. Hand pass over the top. Ash got it back to Brown. He runs forward to the wing and kicks the Giants inside forward 50. A big Briggs has taken a mark about 40 out directly in front.
Well done to Brown. That's one way to make amends for it. Got himself involved, had a nice contest with the spoil, followed up at ground level, a quick handball, but then ran to receive again and then just put the ball into a nice, dangerous spot with a big man in Briggs had found himself forward. What a big lump of a human.
Isn't he?
201, 107 kegs. Oh, boy.
He is a 107 at 201. We're going to got the 107 covered. I'm a big unit, aren't I? As Briggs fires directly in front and puts it through.
Listen to the noise.
The Giants get one back. Not much, but they'll be pretty happy. The boys out on the ground. They're still working to try and stay in touch. 7-3-45 they are. Carlton, it's been their term the third quarter. 9-8-62, 22 and a half in. IJ Liquor scoreboard.
No, well called, Buzz. Has been Carlton's quarter, but again, the Giants just find a way just to hang in there. Just when we think the game is getting beyond doubt or almost getting to that point where, geez, if Carlton kick the next one, it takes it to 29 points, 5 goals. Tough to come back from there, but they've done it throughout the afternoon. Just find a way. Not a lot of support here for the Giants, but they get around each other. Big Briggs. This is probably one area they need to improve on. That long high ball inside 50. Haven't had too much representation forward and getting out marked down there too. So well done to Briggs.
No Jesse Hogan out there this afternoon. He's outmanaged. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. 17 points the difference. Secondary ball up in the middle. 6.5 minutes remaining. They get the next one, the Giants.
They probably will. They've just found a way to do it all, Arvo.
Kennedy's kick smothered. Still inside the centre circle. Doherty, quick hands to Walsh, and then Sard flicks it out wider again. McGovern had to stop and wait, and then had one arm pinned by Ward. Broon came in and tackled him too, and umpire said no prior opportunity. 9-8 Carlton. GWS 7-3. 24 minutes gone, third quarter for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water.
Tossed in the air. Big Bruce just grabs it out of the ruck. Throws it onto the right boot. Only went about 25 high to half forward, but on this occasion, no one home. McGovern takes the mark at true centre half back for the Blues. It's across the goal he's defending. He'll be centre field with the footy. Spins it in his hand. In no hurry, go back to Wiedering. Good to see him back out on the ground. As Abby said, after copping a big corky from Toby Green. Kicks out to Walsh. There's another player good to see back out in the ground. I tell you what, he didn't gingerly go into a few contests when he come back on. He just threw everything at it.
Incredible stuff, and it's sort of a weird one. Generally, when you go down, if you get a knock on the knee, sometimes it can just be knee on knee. It hurts, and then the pain subsides. Generally, with an ankle, if you're in that sort of discomfort,
couldn't put any weight on it.
It doesn't go away. But genuine miraculous how quick he's recovered.
Sam Walsh, only been on the ground 9 minutes, 7 disposals in that time. Next best on the ground has 3.
It's not a great kick coming out of defence for the Blues. Grab taken by Jacob Ware. Stood in the hole. Outer side wing.
Been a good couple of minutes for the Giants, hasn't it?
They need to kick the next one. Taranto standing on the Toyota logo. Clubs that ball into the ground. Makes it hard for Hopper. His handball did his teammate Ward no favours whatsoever. They came from everywhere to swoop on him, the Blues. Tossed up at half forward.
Jeez, that's poor execution, isn't it? Got to be better than that, Tim Taranto.
Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. Bernie Vince with Daisy Thomas this afternoon as the Blues through Walsh and the hand pass to Sard. He runs out of half-back, loves to run. Little left foot ball to Wiedering, who's run off half-back. Mark's broadcast side. Got O'Brien leading to the wing and he takes it. It's about 5 metres inside the boundary. Skips back with a footy. Latter stages now of this third quarter. Just over 4 minutes left to play of the term of game time as O'Brien hugs the boundary line to Mackay. A little bit too high for him. He's met by Kennedy. The umpire said Kennedy got him high. Is that a 50? The ball not delivered back to him. The umpire just sort of ignored that and I'll let that one go. As Mackay stands right on the boundary, true wing broadcast side.
Expect a bit more of this from the Blues. That kick mark keeping's off. They've got the sign up there at the moment. The power switch just trying to shut the game down.
17-point lead that they enjoy.
Power switch.
Kennedy wide.
Just retain the ball, is it? Kick mark.
Just shut the game down. I think it'll be. They're pretty happy that they've got themselves in a position to get a nice lead. They've had the momentum. Now just make GWS defend for a bit.
Kick goes into the pocket. Everyone was waiting for the long ball except Patrick Cripps. He knew what was coming. He's got it 40 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, nice kick there from Setterfield. Just took a bit off that kick. Saw that there's a bit of space in front of Cripps and there was a lot of numbers dropping back. Everyone thought he was going to go long to the top of the square, but just took a little bit off the kick, and Cripps was well aware of that. Played in front. He's kicking around the corner. This is a big snap. Oh.
No worries with the distance, but accuracy.
Not sure that that's what I would have done from there. Maybe the drop punt from 45 metres out, basically directly in front, but anyway.
Yeah, and you would have slotted it, Bern. Yeah. Yeah,
be honest.
Yeah, he just nods his head.
I don't need to say anything.
No, you don't really. Bruce across goal from the back pocket. And the Giants maintain possession through Kennedy, who's marked. Left back pocket. Plays on now. Goes the outer side. Setterfield got a hand on it as the kick was heading towards Lloyd. And he slapped it out of bounds. Don't forget at McDonald's at the moment, you can warm up with a creme brulee pie or an apple pie for just $1.50. $1.50 for either at Macca's. Seriously, Heath, you wouldn't be buying the one. Then why wouldn't you get both?
You're in double figures, I think. A couple of throwdowns as well.
I just love to say creme brulee. I love saying that.
Kicks out of bounds. Will you get 2 on the way home?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you know the answer.
No, I don't.
Jeez. I go the drive-through and I go inside.
Online and in store.
Load up.
Wrong sponsor.
Sunday, are they?
There's
Load up.
I think that's a reversal.
Yeah, what's happening here, Dave?
So off the ball, out of zone umpire, Nick Newman just causing a bit of a stir off the ball. Was flicked high and they've reversed it.
So now it's a Carlton free kick. They look to head to half forward. Callum Brown underneath. No mark for him. Curnow trying to wrestle it free. Durden there too. Nothing doing. 2 minutes before three-quarter time. Carlton 9-8. GWS 7-3. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath. We'll be going after this one, and there's one in the middle, a big one.
West Coast v St Kilda straight after this. Collingwood, Essendon at the MCG. No late changes to that one in the middle.
Yeah, not long for that one to the start, so we'll keep an eye on that. Whilst we're here in the final term, as a holding the ball free kick will go to the Giants. The player tackled, lost it in the handle, and Big Bruce was the tackler. He's a massive unit. Still a minute 50 left to play this third quarter. At the moment, the Blues doing it nicely. It's been their turn. So lead it by 17 points. But through the centre go the Giants. Then out wide to the wing. Lloyd's got it. He squares up a kick to O'Halloran. Across the centre of the ground, who marks just forward to the wing. Broadcast on. Oh, he put it on the head. Put it right on the loaf of bread of his teammate in Canilio. And he got smashed.
Still down. That's a hospital ball, that one. Still down.
Goodness, he mustn't like him.
Carlton transition forward. Silvani picks up the crumbs, arches the back, punches it low towards goal. It's going to roll and roll and roll. Bruce has Walsh bearing down. The big man did okay. Hacks it out of defence. 3-on-1 favours Carlton. Chera had options everywhere to choose from. Cripps, flying shot, goes across the face.
What was that?
That's always gone backwards.
It's 2 in a row.
It's just a little bit.
Oh,
it's Lloyd! Took an incredible mark.
Another one
Peatling.
down.
He's down on the ground. Peatling, Sard's taking a screamer, goes long to full forward. Mackay has got about 50 players to beat around him. And a free kick will go to the Giant against him.
He doesn't look good. Peatling, is it?
Peatling, I think it is on the ground. That was a huge mark, but it was one of those knees right in the back, wasn't it?
It was huge, though, from Saar. Got the knee in the back of the head, but had to go full stretch. We see this set up perfectly. Knee to the head, but got the double elevation again. Landed on his feet. That is an absolute hangdangle.
Yeah, we've seen 2 classics today. The earlier one from Toby Green and this one from Saar.
Coming from the ground, Peatling.
Yeah, he's back on his feet, he's just jogging off himself, so he's all right, which is good to see.
Keep an eye on him, Abs. It's been a busy third quarter down there. Broon had a fumble. Carlton send it deep once again. Haynes couldn't fist it away. Mackay got it by hand down to Kennedy. He has a shank. Now Curnow turns the corner, tried to turn again, and did too much. And that will be three-quarter time. It's an arm wrestle at Marvel Stadium, but Carlton have a 17-point lead with a quarter to play. They're 9-8-62. The Giants 7-3-45 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
warm up with a creme brulee pie or apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's. Triple M rocks footy in 3.5 minutes. 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 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Twenty seconds. 10 seconds.
'M rocks footy.
This quarter for Repco. Show your card and save this month at Repco. Driven by passion for 100 years.
Blues by 17 points at three-quarter time. Carlton at 9-8-62. The Giants 7-3-45. Carlton led by 3 points at halftime, so they've had a good third quarter. Mackay and Curnow with 2 goals apiece. Daisy Thomas is here with Bernie Vince, Jack Heverin, Abby Holmes is here. Ethan Meldrum with the stats. Heath, 17 points up the Blues at three-quarter time.
Yeah, and just looking at Sam Walsh's stats, came back from that ankle injury, 16-minute mark of the third term. Last 15 minutes of that quarter, 10 disposals, 4 clearances to GWS's 3, 7 ground ball gets to GWS's 6. Monster return from him after that ankle injury. Leading players on the ground, he's up to 28 disposals, most of any player on the field. Paddy Cripps, 25 as well for the Giants. Tim Taranto, 26, the most for them. And Harry Himmelberg, the number 1 ranked player on the ground, 18 disposals, 10 intercept possessions so far.
Blues really threatening here in this one now. They got on top. GWS Giants were good enough to get one response, but for the Blues, it was positive that they then went into the kick mark sort of game and took a bit of sting out of it rather than continuing the shootout. They got themselves well in front and were happy with the lead, happy to go in, but the pleasing thing for them was not only did they go kick mark, but they got some opportunities and some good looks at goal. Paddy Cripps had a couple of shots at it, probably should have kicked one of them at least. But I think for the GWS Giants, if they're not first to score here, Byrne, just the feel of the game is that this could get pretty ugly pretty quick.
Well, it was all Carlton that quarter, wasn't it? Especially that last 10 minutes, just continuously went inside 50. Looked dangerous going forward as well. So, I mean, if that continues, the damn well will break. The defenders for the Giants have held up pretty well, considering the ball that's gone in there. But it's just got that feel or that smell that this could just get away from the Giants here and in a big way, because they can score fast, Carlton. They're a good team to watch. They attack the goal face, so look for big Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow to have an influence here.
Bob Jane Team Marts, look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. Abby?
It was a busy quarter, wasn't it? But Sammy Walsh, as Ethan said, got back out there and dominated that third term. He's starting this quarter on the bench, though, guys, so that's interesting. James Peatling as well with that massive mark from Adam Saad. He's gone down for a concussion test.
Keep an eye on that one, Abs. Thank you very much. Giants have only won 5 fourth quarters this year, so they're going to need to buck the trend if they're going to win this one. They start 17 points adrift. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Bruce, I should say. The tap on defensive 50. Couldn't release a teammate coming from the stoppage. Jams it on the boot. The bounce didn't favour Riccardi, and Saad is having a field day back there, Bass.
He is. Left foot drop punt towards half forward. Big Charlie Curnow from behind, nearly enough of the footy. Spilled to the front to Chera. Broon sits on top of him with a teammate, and they roll him around, and the footy went nowhere. The umpire will ball it up. So the Blues press early in this final term, as they did in the third quarter early, just to create that separation on the scoreboard. Here today to get these 4 points in what is a terrific season for them thus far. Hand pass will come out to Hopper at half-back here for the Giants. Kick into a pack of players. Toby Green's got about 3 or 4 to beat in the air. The ball ended up with him. On his backside, he tried to punch it out to a teammate. Cherry got in the way, got it to Fisher. Hand pass to Kennedy. Real high ball inside towards Mackay, but in front doing good work. On this occasion is Taylor in the one-on-one, and he took the mark. 30 from the goal is defending for the Giants.
15 intercept marks last week, Sam Taylor. They lost to the Lions by 40 points. They'd have lost by 80 last week if it wasn't for him. As Briggs chases it towards the boundary line. Didn't sit for him. Setterfield flicks back a pass to Wiedering. Now he goes into the corridor. McGovern. It's been pretty good in his first game back, Days.
He's been serviceable, picking up the pace as the game's going on. Had a couple of nice moments, floating in third man.
Back to Wiedering, and we go back to where we started, City side wing. Carlton build this ball up to half forward. Cripps can turn and go. Looking for a marking target. Mackay got it. 2 bites. He marked the second one down low. And he'll line up from 35 out directly in front to kick his third.
Well, no surprises why GWS haven't won many last quarters. That ball was a slow play from the Blues.
Mackay's going to kick the snap.
Jeez.
It's a low percentage kick burn from that distance.
Directly in front, 45 out.
Yeah. Harry Mackay, 2 goals, 3 this afternoon. 18-point lead for the Blues. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Himmelberg from full back to O'Halloran, had to juggle it and he takes the mark. Good pressure from O'Brien, but not enough. As O'Halloran took it.
I was just going to say, Baz, before Harry Mackay played on, no surprise why GWS Giants haven't won many fourth quarters. The work rate there only a couple of minutes in. Nobody from the midfield getting back to fill.
So they need to lift. As the kick to the wing and Big Bruce has taken the mark. He seems to have had a reasonable day, Heath.
Yeah, Red Z lending stats, 29 hit-outs, 9 of those to advantage. Tom DeConey with just the 10 so far for Carlton.
And a long kick inside to Riccardi gives his teammates an opportunity. Hand pass to Toby Green. Just got a little bit off balance on the kick and had landed about 15 metres short. And Cottrell was back there. He was able to mark and kick a little short one into the back pocket. And Toby just sort of makes...
Doing Toby things?
Yeah, doing Toby things.
Oh, Toby.
Makes them earn it a little bit. And from that back pocket, out of here to the wing. No mark taken. Cummings got it for the Giants.
Hopper has runners inside. Cornelio, one of them.
Good kick.
Turns and kick. Didn't panic at all. Just assessed the situation. Saw that he had a couple of short options, and one of them was Kieran Briggs.
Yeah, well played, Cornelio. Because if he gave the handball, he had a couple of runners running past, but if he gave the handball, the player that received the footy was going to get tackled. So just had great game awareness there, just not to give it, just hold on to a little bit longer. Bought himself a little bit of time and found the mark.
First game of the season, 6th of his career. Needs to kick this, doesn't. 4.5 minutes gone, final quarter. Triple M Repco scoreboard. Giants 7-4, Blues 9-9.
Harvey Norman replay. Mark McVeigh sort of on the edge of his seat with Big Briggsy having a shot for goal. Kieran Briggs. His mates would call him Briggsy. I'll take that to the bank. A short kick from Sard to McGovern. And McGovern's got it, spitting the foot in his hand. In the back pocket. Sorry, Heath. Long kick back into the wing. Big leap to Koning, but he leapt over the pack and the footy went somewhere behind him. And Cummings got it. He's tackled and dragged to the ground. The umpire to ball it up. So it's back out here on the wing. So they've been able to sort of hold a little bit here, the Giants. At the moment, it's a good lead, 17 points to the Blues. 5 final term.
De Koning's tap stolen away. O'Halloran. Coming. Just put it straight onto the chest of Adam Sard. What are his numbers this afternoon, Heath? Red Z lending.
Adam Sard, that's a 5th intercept mark for him, most on the ground.
Oh, no.
And that will be 50.
Yep, definitely 50. Cornelio just whacked the ball out of Cripps' hand. He knew what Cripps was trying to do because Saab was running past. It was going to be the handball received, but Cornelio just didn't wait till he handballed it, just whacked it clean out and then thought, oh no, I can't do that in 50 metres.
It's going to take Patrick Cripps from the wing.
Perfectly described, Bert.
To 50 metres out from goal.
He'll take his best from here. Generally gets a lot of revolutions on the ball, so we'll need to strike this pretty crisply.
To make it a 23-point game.
Pretty crisply.
He gives it every chance.
No.
Big moment. Big player.
You got to laugh.
Cripps kicks his first. And this might be the move now for the Blues. They've kicked 2 in this last quarter. They're 10-9. Giants 7-4. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Big price to pay, the 50 metres after a costly miss too. Briggs up the other end. He had a Brig moment there, but couldn't quite capitalised on it there, Byrne, but the 50-metre penalty took Cripper right to his range, and he did struck it nicely. Solid effort, big moment, and now this game. One more for the Blues. If they're next to score, it is absolutely caputio.
I don't even know what you said after the big moment. I was lost back there. I loved it.
23 points the margin for McDonald's Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. It's what we do. 7 minutes final term. And the Blues go out of the centre through Cripps, tackled by Cornelio. His hand pass virtually went straight up in the air. Walsh attacks the footy. On the bottom of the pack as he is wrestling with a couple of opponents. And the umpire will come and ball it up. A fierce competitor. Sam Walsh loves it. Ball thrown in the air. Bruce slaps to the side. Cripps gets it off hands. Clean hands to centre field. Hand pass back to Doherty. And across the wing with a kick. High to Durden. Brilliant. He had Haynes all over him. Quality player was with him in a one-on-one, and Durden won that contest. He looks to the corridor, decoding the target, and the big man has taken the mark on his chest.
He's still inside the centre square. Heavily populated 50. Tries to pinpoint a target. Ware stood in the hole. He had Curnow coming. Good courage. But then gave away a free kick.
Carlton all over the Giants at the moment.
Yeah.
Real danger period here for them. Just all the game being played in Carlton's half, winning all the key contests at the moment. And Curnow and Mackay, I reckon, are just starting to get a little bit of a sniff of we could really cash in late here. It hasn't been the biggest day for them, just a couple of goals each, but if they can kick a couple more each in this last quarter, it turns into a big day and a big win for Carlton.
He'll kick from 50. Led the Coleman by 1 goal coming into this afternoon. He has 2. Now he has 3. The Blues are charging towards the finish line now. 11-9-75 to 7-4-46. Triple M Repco scoreboard, 7 minutes gone in this last quarter. Let's make that 9 minutes gone.
Absolutely flushed that, hasn't he? Great kicking style, Charlie Curnow. Runs straight, kicks through it. He's kicked that from just outside 50, and it's gone about 8 rows back.
Which is interesting in that first quarter when we knew he had the journey from 51, when he went that little weird pokey-pulley one.
Pokey-pulley. What?
If you like to get out on the tear and you look after your mates, you'll be listening to Bernie Vince and Dale Thomas, because they're quality people. Triple M Super special comments. Super making hard work pay off. And they're here this afternoon. They're witnessing a good Carlton effort for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. Blues had to come and claim the 4 points. They're doing it nicely at the moment. Cornelio hands on the footy early and a chain of hand passes. Ends up with Broom from the Giants. Got it under the kick though, just sort of an up and under, and Plowman thought I might have a crack at that. And he's marked in comfortable space at half back. Goes short back to Sam Walsh. Has been terrific story today. He kicks it out towards Newman, who gets it to Wiedering, and he goes long to Mackay, who's worked hard up the ground again today, and he marks defensive side of the wing for the Blues, outer side.
2 goals, 3 for the afternoon. It's been a big presence. Hasn't fully cashed in though. Speaking of big presence, there's Bruce. He marks at half back. Abby Holmes for Bob Jane teammates.
James Peatling returned from that test down in the rooms from 3/4 time, so he's just on the gates ready to come back in, so that's good news for GWS.
Bob Jane teammates look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online bobjane.com.au.
So the Blues just chip it around in the outer side wing. Doherty's got it. Real comfortable lead they've got now. They know it. 29 points. As the kick now ends up with O'Brien from the wing from McGovern. O'Brien, long ball to full forward, big pack. Curnow's in there, doesn't mark. Fall of the ball, little hand pass comes out from Durden to Motlop. He's hand pass back towards Sprowlow for the Giants, who grabs the footy and is dragged to the ground in a tackle by Durden. And he's happy with that because it holds it up and causes another stoppage. This time still 40 out for the Carlton goal.
29-point lead of the Blues. Tap back. Falls to O'Brien from just inside 50. Punches a low pass onto the chest of Curnow. He's going to kick the snap to make it number 4.
Look at the umpire lining them all up.
Yeah. Yes.
Carr. The Blues are going to record their 12th win of the season, and they are doing it in impressive fashion when it matters most. 12-9-81, the 7-4-46, 12 gone final quarter. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Well, it's been an arm wrestle all afternoon, hasn't it? Carlton have been the better side for the majority of this game, and just starting now to get rewarded for their efforts. Been really good in the contest. Well, they've been the better team. The Giants have just found a way to stay in the contest at key moments, just when Carlton looked like they're going to run away with the game. The Giants will find their way back in it, but now Carlton in this last quarter, as we almost predicted at three-quarter time, it just had that feeling that Carlton would put the foot down in this last quarter and really run away with it, and now out to a 35-point lead.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Bounce is good. Big Bruce in the ruck, slaps it down. He's been good all day, Bruce. Worked hard for his team, the big fella. And the Giants work it out of the centre with a kick to half forward. Bouncing footy in front on that occasion was Newman. Went without it. Young had it, then lost it. Peatling took it off him. Runs to 40, kicks across the body to full forward. Toby Green caught out of position, had to thump it away from Wiedering, and it's through for a rush point to the Giants. 12-9-81 the Blues, 7-5-47 the Giants, 13 final term. Brooklyn Repco scoreboard. Show your card and save this month at Repco, driven by passion for 100 years.
Taylor couldn't mark that kick in. Sprout just throws it on the boot, and it rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls out of bounds. And they pay deliberate with absolutely no sense for the game whatsoever.
Well, it's obviously an instruction from up above, but there's no reason why, with this time on the clock or this position of the ground, why he would be deliberately trying to, off a step without looking, kick that ball out of bounds in the forward pocket.
Chera kicks that out of bounds on the full. The Giants will get the footy back. Taylor to bring it back in. They're down by 34 points. Triple M Repco scoreboard. So they want to move it on quickly, try and add some respectability to this scoreboard. Cripps couldn't take it with him. O'Halloran snatched it away. Now Ward, 55 out, hoiks it over the shoulder. Green did okay. Made sure that the Blues didn't get an easy defensive mark. Silvani stood up in that tackle. Plowman, short kick is okay, and he's got Fisher.
So Fisher plays on. He's about 25 metres from the goal. He's defending. Hand pass off to Walsh, who goes a hand pass over the top, sort of loping one to O'Brien, but in plenty of space, had time to set up. Little pass to Doherty. He's kicked it along the boundary line to Cottrell. Paid the free kick, and he's still about 75 from goal. Does he go quickly? Honey makes the lead off half forward. No, he goes backwards. He goes backwards to Doherty, who'll come out here towards the centre of the ground where Wiedering awaits. He's got Newman on the wing, and a sweeping, nice 20-metre hand pass to Newman in space, who's able to take a bounce, take his time, keep the eyes low. Had a couple of options. In the end, he went to Setterfield, who's marked 40 out, and about 10 metres inside the boundary.
Just far too easy in the end, that transition. They did a really good job, the GWS Giants, in covering one side and slowing the Blues down. They've just got to get a swivel of the head. You just can't trust that once you've got them pinned on one side, if you allow so many numbers to set up for the around, that they're not going to take it. They did that. That was that handball from Wiedering. 25 metres. Smack.
A nice snap goal in the first quarter. Setterfield from the forward pocket. This time to the left of our broadcast position. He hooks it and kicks a point. Carlton 12-10-82. The Giants 7-5-47. We're 15 and a half into the final term. Burn for SKG Radiology. All day you've been looking at player matchups. SKG Radiology now bulk billing on all Medicare rebatable services. What's caught your eye?
Well, a couple for each team. We spoke about who Sam Taylor was going to go to, but the key forwards, they've had a lot of the footy. Charlie Kerner up to 4 goals, and Harry Mackay's kicked 2. He's been rotating a little bit, Sam Taylor, between both of them. So, and for the Giants, I've loved the Toby Green and this man here, Nick Newman. That matchup there, Toby Green kicked a couple of goals, had 11 disposals, so they're the key matchups.
Lewis Young. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath. We're underway at the MCG.
Yeah, it's a fast start for the Pies as well, sorry to say, Baz. 3 goals through 20. Bombers yet to score 12 minutes in.
A long way to go.
Baz.
All over.
Only early, Baz.
Long way to go.
It's a bit stinky to start with for the Bombers.
Long way to go. Just let him get a bit of confidence.
Newman gets it back again on defensive 50.
Haven't got confidence after winning 8 in a row.
Getting ahead of himself.
Chera. Next link in the chain. Left foot kick. Good one too. Curnow got away from Taylor. And speaking of getting away, he had a couple to choose from in the forward pocket. He lays it off to Honey.
Great kick from Chera on the non-preferred side. Left foot kick inside. Had Curnow all on his own, but that was too easy.
Honey's snap is narrow for a point. 12-10, the 7-5. Triple M Repco scoreboard. Show your card and save this month at Repco, driven by passion for 100 years.
So coming from full back, he goes long with a drop punt to the outer side, but Doherty, he read that nicely, just sprinted away from his opponent and Riccardi and took the mark. So he's taken it only about 70 out from his club's goal. He's trying to square it up and go inboard. In the end, it's okay. Went for Fisher, overran it. Sard picked it up, hand pass back to Fisher. Then had time to set up with a kick inside forward 50. Spills to the back of the pack to Durden, who gets around one, gets around two, has a shot from the pocket. That is brilliant. Brilliant goal from Durden. Took them on. Weaved some magic through traffic. And his mates come to him in numbers. That's nice. Carlton 13-11-89. The Giants 7-5-47. All about the Blues now. 18-minute mark, final turn, Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Well, it was brilliant by the little man down there. He knew that he had Charlie Curnow running past. Every one of the GWS defenders thought it was going there. Attracted a crowd, did Charlie Curnow. Durden just put the ball out, let them all fly by. And then as he straightened up, he only had O'Halloran to get by, stepped in with ease. And then the hard bit there is to steady, running slightly towards the left side of the goalpost. Just dinked one on the outside of the boot. Brilliant finish. The Blues absolutely doing it at ease at the minute.
Yeah, Red Z leading stats, one-way traffic at the moment. Last 10 minutes, 33 effective kicks to 2 Carlton's way. GWS is pressured down to 131.
I'll come back to you in a second, Heath, with some more fourth quarter numbers. This is not a great finish to the game for the Giants. They win that clearance, albeit. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. It's Tanner Bruin. Tired kick back inboard to O'Halloran. Just bangs it in hope as much as anything else. There's not a lot of system back there, and De Koning fisted out of bounds down to Abbey for Bob Jane teammates.
Hey guys, Cripps and Walsh both up to 30 touches, but from my perspective, I want to ask you, at what point in time do you put Sammy Walsh on ice? We saw that massive ankle injury in the third quarter. He's come back, he's done his job, but with the game sewed up, do you want to keep him out there or put him on ice?
I'm putting him on ice.
Yeah.
If I'm the Carlton coach and Michael Voss, no point risking him now. 42 points up, not going to lose the game. But you want him nice and fresh, or have the maximum recovery with that ankle for next week.
Still in the forward pocket for the Giants. It's gone nowhere as Himmelberg grabs it as a flying shot. Under enormous pressure, went right across the face, and Cottrell was waiting for it. Kicks to Mackay, who's made his way up onto the wing again. He's got enormous space. Drills a pass to Jack Silvani. Open forward line. Honey screaming for it. Give it to me, he says, and he does. Nice 35-metre drop punt. Straight into his arms, but he's only about 5 metres inside the boundary, and he's got to kick it from 40 metres out.
Law of averages here, Baz. Missed the easy snap only moments ago. Goes back and will dob this.
Yep.
I'll tell you what I've loved tonight, though, or this afternoon. Harry Mackay's game. His ability to get up the ground last week, really well held against the Cats. Couldn't find a way to impact. He's rectified that this afternoon.
So Josh Honey from the boundary. 45 out, it lands on the line, and Cumming gets a big fist on it and through for a point. The Blues 13-13-91. The Giants 7-5-47. And that's at the 21-minute mark, or close enough, in this final term, the Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Harry Mackay, 17 disposals, 10 marks. It's a big day for a key forward. Same with Charlie Curnow. They haven't just kicked goals and hit the scoreboard. They've been able to find the footy as well. 15 disposals to Curnow, 10 marks for him as well.
Give us some more of those fourth quarter numbers, Heath. They'll be one-way traffic, I'm guessing.
Yeah, certainly are, and all in Carlton's favour. 40 marks to 10 so far in their way, so they're just keeping control of the footy. 10 inside 50s, but they've had 8 shots on goal from those 10.
Himmelberg kicks a spiral inside the Giants' 50. Green and Newman fell over. They were too busy wrestling each other. Plowman mops up. Sard. Inboard to Young at centre-half back, and they've just got so many options to choose from at the moment. They're finishing strong. Newman to Durden. That bounce didn't help him, and it's out of bounds. 21 and a half, nearly 22 minutes gone in this last quarter. It's now a 43-point lead. And as we head towards home, Baz, 4.5 minutes left. The Blues have done the job in this last quarter. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Certainly have. They've been magnificent. They've come out and flexed the muscles in the last half and just done it nicely for their footy club. And they'll go away with the important 4 points, Carlton. What a season they're having. As out of the clearance they go again. Chera kicks a sort of a sideways wobbly ball, but it's inside forward 50. Dangerous forwards there. Kernow went past him. Brown's got a bit of work to do for the Giants. Did well. Picked it up in the back pocket. Hand pass out to Hopper and he goes short and finds Himmelberg. Runs off half back. And off half forward comes Toby Green. He marks 65 metres out. Goes short inside forward 50. And the mark is taken by Peatling. And Green wants it back. Give it back to me. And he does. Hand pass to him. And Toby from 45 kicks his third goal. Long drop punt. And the Giants get their eighth. Nice work from Toby Green. 8-5-53. Go the Giants, but the Blues well and truly in control and have been for some time. 37-point leaders at 13-12-90. 23 final term. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Decent enough passage of play there from the Giants, and you've got to commend them for their effort this afternoon. Their ability to find themselves in the contest and bringing that effort, bringing the heat, bringing the pressure. But the thing is, that can only keep you in the game for so long. At some point, you need some system and some real flow and ball movement strategy to come on the back of that. And that's where they're falling down again this afternoon. We've seen it throughout the season. They just haven't been able to do it and sustain it for long enough. And that's why they found themselves where they do on the ladder. They have these moments of brilliance, but just can't sustain it.
A lot of key personnel not out there today for the Giants. From McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Harry Perryman, Josh Kelly, Phil Davis done for the season. Lockie Whitfield. Just a few of their outs today. Green will fly! Very nearly dragged down another one. Already got one that'll be replayed a lot. Plowman and O'Brien work together. O'Brien,
Toby.
He just can't help himself.
He kind of love it.
We just picked him up in the effects mic too. The umpire comes in, Toby goes, what?
Well, it's not down the ground because they actually kicked it backwards, so... What?
Now Braden Bruce is...
He's taking on six.
And winning too. And winning.
And he attracted 5 or 6 blokes, didn't he?
And he wanted more.
Yeah, bring him in.
A couple of those Carlton boys came at him and they just looked like a spring roll in his hand. Saad lays a short pass off to Setterfield. He caught one in the back of the head as well. Blues by 37 points. 3.5 minutes left. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
There's a Harvey Norman replay. Toby just putting the shoulder into O'Brien, what's caused the kerfuffle. Don't forget, great deals on cooking appliances on now at Harvey Norman. Shop the world's best cooking brands in store or online. You can do either. As Chera's got it at half back for the Blues. Long ball across the wing. Back of the pack, Kerno didn't fly, just waited for it and it bounced his way. Smart footy. Hand pass back to the Rolls Royce in Cripps, who kicks inside forward 50 but missed the target. And the Giants at half-back will repel one more time. The mark taken by Peatling, who kicks outside, but straight to Cripps on the wing. Hand pass off to Durden, they'll go again.
Durden's looking for Motlop. Haynes arrived late. Batted it away from him. Good tackle, Motlop. Chase Taylor to the boundary line and rips him over. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath, the MCG.
Yeah, it's getting worse, sorry, Baz. Pies by 25 points halfway through the first term. 4 goals to none in their favour.
Oh, yeah. Greatest comeback at the MCG was done by the Bombers in a home and away game.
Just get their confidence
North
up.
Melbourne, 2001. Yep.
Round 16.
It's not over yet. Maybe it is.
I'm calling it, Baz. It's over.
Green at half-back. You're calling it already?
Yeah, why not?
Heath calls early. Heath calls when the sides are selected.
There's so many things I want to say there, but I won't. Chera, wrapped up. Don't forget, as soon as we finish up here, you can download that game, but download the Listener app, of course. Listen to every game crystal clear.
Yes.
Where are we going after this, Heath?
Straight after this, West Coast v St Kilda. Lockie Reid, Tom Atkinson, Andrew Ambley, Xavier Ellis. Big team for that one.
Yeah, imagine walking into the box next door and looking at that team. You'd be absolutely petrified.
Oh, you wouldn't bother, would you?
No, you'd probably want to pack up and go home.
Yep.
That is as solid as it gets. As Ward's got it at true centre half back for the Giants. It kicks a turnover. They've lost their way in the final term. There's no doubt about that. And Carlton, who have smelt the rotting carcass, are just going in for a huge kill here. As Saad gets it out to O'Brien, kicks a long one to the forward pocket. Well done, Charlie Kerner. Let the pack go forward, waited back, claimed the footy, but he had no one to go to under pressure. Deep forward pocket, kicked across the goal. There was no one there. Ash claimed it for the Giants, who hand passed a sweeping one out to Cumming, who kicks out to the outer side wing. And Taranto has taken the mark, so he can slow it up. 1:30 left in the game, Jack, and at the moment, the Blues, well, not at the moment, but all day, the Blues been good, 37 points up.
Yeah, they have, and they're not done yet, Baz. They create a turnover. Fisher took a little while to give the handball. Now he does. Cottrell from just on 50 heads really wide into the pocket. Curnow attracts the ball and then misses Mackay altogether. The Giants can springboard off half-back through O'Halloran.
They can. O'Halloran's long kick the Bruin through his hands. It spills to Toby, who sees an open goal square and goes, "I'll go long," and kicks it just to the right. And through for a point, Toby Green. So misses out on his fourth. But the Giants get it back to 36 points Carlton's way. 27 and a half minutes into the final term on the Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Nice grab taken by Brown from the kick-in. Daisy, a lot of talk about Taranto, Hopper, Tanner Bruin as well. How big of a hole will it leave for the Giants midfield?
Yeah, well, if they are going, like it's been reported, it is a fair hole to fill. Obviously, as we've spoken about just before, there are still a lot of stars out of this side.
Halloran marks, one of the last, well, probably the last part of play in the game. It's three good footballs, three good young footballers. You certainly don't want to be losing them, do you?
No, you don't. And obviously it's been the sell that keep them there, that they are in the window. But it looks like that chance to be really competitive and shooting towards top four and finals is slowly starting to decline.
So Halloran will kick on the siren. It won't score. Carlton put their foot down when it mattered. And they win their 12th game of the season, 13-12-90 to 8-6-54. It's the Blues, winners by 36 points.
We are the Navy Blues. We are the old dark Navy Blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. With all the champions they like to send up, we'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark Blues.
Triple M Amy review. Let's go down to ground level, courtesy of Fox Footy. Here's Sam Walsh.
Yeah, Vossi and all the boys just wanted to have a clear focus, so we just had to keep our intensity up. We thought our pressure was pretty good in the first half. Probably let ourselves down with the last 10 minutes of the second quarter, but I think we've been able to respond well out of half times, and we showed that today. You knew they were going to bring their aggression, but it was great to finish off a game like that.
I know Michael Voss has brought some really special people to Carlton, but I didn't know he had Mr. Miyagi in the change rooms. You did your ankle and came back out. It looked like you're better than ever.
Yeah, my old man made me watch that movie when I was a kid, so... Rohan, our physio, he's got a few special secrets, mate, but it was just bad roll. I probably carried on a little bit, so the crowd got around me when I got back out on the ground and gave me a lift, so it'll be fine, mate.
And the scores from stoppages, they're a hard one to crack, the Giants, but that was a clear advantage today with no ruckman as well. Yeah, absolutely. They look damaging at times, but I think for us, our defence has been unreal all day, and we want to get back and support them and go back the other way. And when you've got a lot of targets and energy down the forward line, we've got to give them opportunities. Toby Green took a hanger, and then Sadi said, "I'll see yours," and raise it one. What do you think of that one? Sadi's having an unreal year. He's just got that charisma, and I think that has to be mark of the year, doesn't it? Especially with whenever he gets a kick, so he's had a few today, I reckon. Good on you, Sammy. Well played, mate. Cheers,
so
mate.
the Blues have got the Crows next week.
Come here expecting to hear a Mr. Miyagi karate kid reference, I must admit, but I think Ben Dixon is about to also track down the man that took that hanger in. Adam Sard, back to you, Dicko.
Righto, Ruth.
Thank you, Jason. I'm here. We're just talking about your hanger. Jason,
there's Sam Walsh down there, and Triple M Amy review. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/fansurance, and you could win. Of course, thank you for that, courtesy of Fox Footy. It's been a big day of football, no doubt about it, Days, but the Blues up to the task and 36-point winners.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see it. I guess that's been a little bit of the story of their season and where the improvements come from under Michael Voss. That ability for them to get in the arm wrestle probably hasn't been the question of years past, but it's what they do when they're in it, and they haven't been the first ones to flinch very many times this year. They've been the ones that have just kept it there, and then throughout the times when they've had their momentum, they've been able to put the foot down and just really assert their dominance on the game. It felt like at times throughout that game they were going to do it at two different occasions. To the GWS credit, they were good enough to hang in there and get some momentum back. But there's only so many times you can do that before it takes a toll. And well done to the Blues. They wore them down. They were brilliant in and around stoppage. They took their opportunities going forward. And their work rate and spread in that last quarter was a pleasure to watch.
Tell you what, I know who had to work hard in that second half, and that was Abby Holmes down on the boundary line. There was a bit going on down there, Abby, for Bob Jane T. March. You've had a big day.
Certainly was, but first and foremost, where's Bernie? What is he, last in, first out? Is that the rule up here?
This is the level he's at now, Abby. I mean, if you're on, the rub and things like that, you come and go as you please.
Just rolls in.
Yeah.
There was some quality dad jokes going on from this box, but on the injury front, there was a lot going on, particularly throughout
Doesn't
that
say much
third
for us,
quarter.
does it?
You're only disappointed because you wanted to cook him. I love that.
Yes, exactly right, and he's not even here. But yeah, as we heard throughout the second half, Sam Walsh, what a miraculous recovery that was. He went over on that left ankle, and he was very emotional coming off the ground, going straight down to the rooms, and the paperwork was done. They just needed to hand it over to the officials at ground level, and Sammy Walsh thought the better of it, and what a second half he had when he got back out there. He was really, really dominant in that Carlton midfield. The other one, Jacob Wiedering, a big knock. We saw that corky with Toby Green to the left thigh, but he got some work down in the rooms as well, got back out there, and then James Peatling too. He was the stepladder for Adam Sard.
Yeah.
He had a concussion test down in the rooms, but he was able to come back on, so no further concerns there.
It was interesting with Sam Walsh to say it was like he thought he'd done a lot more damage. And that seemed like the frustration. You were right near his face. It was like, what have I done?
He was literally a metre and a half away from me when he went down into the rooms, and he was very emotional.
Yeah.
So, you look at where Carlton sit. You're at round 19, heading into the pointy end of the season. They're inside the top 8. There's so much excitement around the club. You can only imagine what's going through your mind if he's already had a syndesmosis injury this year, and if that's the case, it could sometimes be, 8, 10, 12 weeks. So that might have been the first thing that went through his mind. But obviously, as he said, he went down with the club doctor. He's got a few tricks that he's just said to Fox Footy then. So, an amazing recovery, and what an impact he had when he was able to get back out on the ground.
You've had a big day, Abs, but don't forget it's not over because it's your shout at McDonald's tonight on the way home. Your turns come up. Don't forget, we'll warm up with a creme brulee pie or an apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's. So it's a good week for you. It's only $1.50.
Beelining to Macca's right now, fellas.
Absolutely. I'll have about 4 or 5 though, so it won't be $1.50. What'd you make of it, Days? It was the Blues have got the Crows next week. They're the side, I suppose, we focus in on somewhat, being the side that will play some finals footy, we would think, this year.
Yeah, it was a good response. We've obviously spoken a lot throughout the week and after last Saturday night when the Cats dismantled them. And the Giants, they took a little bit out of that game with just bringing that pressure and denying the Blues what they want to do. But that's the difference in the game, and the difference in quality of opposition is that some teams can do it for a long enough period, and you've got to come up with different ways to attack. I really loved just before that three-quarter time where they were 20-odd points up. The Giants got the next goal, got it back to 16, and then the Blues went in. They put the sign up. They shut the game down for the last 2.5 minutes. A really professional couple of minutes of footy. They're not allowing the GWS Giants to maybe get lucky and score another goal and get their tails up and get themselves back in it like they did in the first and second quarters. So that was a real bit of growth from the Blues. But again, we're still not really sure where they're probably sitting, and 5th, 6th on the ladder is probably fair enough at the minute. I think there's still a couple of sides well and truly above them, that still being your Brisbanes, your Melbournes and your Geelongs. Sydney in and around them, but I think they probably are going to do some damage going inside to September where we think they get their ability to score quickly and those two big boys up forward with that class in the midfield. I don't think you'd want to be coming up against them in an elimination final or maybe even deeper.
All right, just very shortly we'll have the Triple M MVP award for homeloans.com.au. Bernie looked after SKG Radiology all day today. SKG Radiology, now bulk billing on all Medicare rebatable services. The injury report, though, was delivered by Abby Holmes at the end, so thank you very much for that, Abby. Choice hotels around the grounds, Heath. I know the Bombers are on the way back, certainly.
they really aren't, Baz. You shouldn't doubt me when I call it. Collingwood 6-2-38, Essendon 1 behind a quarter time. Get yourself near some highlights. Josh Dacos might have challenged Sam Draper for goal of the year. handball to himself on the boundary, 70 out around Sam Durham. Nick Hine, 2 bounces, snap goal. Mason Cox taking hangers as well, so not looking good for your mob, Baz. Collingwood on the live ladder, 4th spot. They've overtaken Fremantle.
Wow.
So
Bypassing the MCG on the way home. Thanks for that, Heath. That's what's happening. Just, Heath, quickly, the big number winners today. Who are the big ball winners?
Big ball winners. Paddy Cripps ended up with 34 disposals and a goal. Big game from him. Sam Walsh, 31. Adam Saab was the number 1 ranked player. 25 disposals, 12 marks, 5 intercept marks. They're both career highs from him. Tim Taranto, 30, and Harry Himmelberg, 25 for the Giants.
Triple M MVP award for homeloans.com.au. Homeloans.com.au, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans. The players want to win this because it's voted on by their superstars like this person here, Daisy Thomas.
Yeah, I'm going to give 1 vote to Harry Mackay. I thought his ability to get up the ground, involve himself in the play, lots of possessions, lots of marks. I thought he was really good at connecting the field for the Blues, coming out of the back line, but also providing a focal point up forward. 2 votes I gave to Sammy Walsh. Looked like he was done for all money, down, about to be stretchered off, or calling for somebody to get down there and fix it, and they were good enough to do it. 31 disposals. He was in everything but Sard. I thought he was the best man on the ground. His ability to set it up took arguably what will be a contender for Mark of the Year, if not Mark of the Year. He was brilliant. That run, dash, and his connection, ball use inside forward 50 has him the best man on the ground.
Good on your days, and all the best to you, Abby, for a big couple of weeks coming up for the Commonwealth Games. We look forward to that. Great to have the games back. Jack, that's one of the best calls of football I've ever heard. Just nod your head. Ethan Meldrum, we thank him for joining. Thanks, Rudy, and thanks to Mark, and thanks to Jared, thanks to Luke. Let's get over to the big one for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rock.